Two. Live. Oh, here. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy almost Christmas. Happy almost New Year's. Time is just flying away from us. So I really appreciate that you're spending some time this evening hanging out with us. We are going to keep it jolly. This is not going to be playing dress up.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know if you have any audio problems or video problems. I am Priya Mohan, the owner of Sorry Not Sorry here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And with me is the trusted better half of my brain, and that is Shefali. And
she's trusted sometimes.
Yes. She's great. She's great. And today we got everything organized for us to just have a little bit of fun because it's stressy. It is stressy out there. So this is what we're doing. Every day I go into my closet, and because we're getting into this colder weather, I look at some of like the jackety, sweatery things I have in my closet, and I think, oh, I would really like to wear that. And then I don't really know what would go with it. And I say to myself, one day I'm going to take that thing to the store and find something that really works with it. So what I did is I took pictures of like 8 or 9 things that are in my closet that I kind of don't reach for because I don't really have anything to go with them. And I sent them to Shefali and I said, hey, Shefali, go through the Wabi Sabi section, which is the 40% off section. If you know, you know, and help me put together some outfits. And let me tell you, some of them are going to look chef's kiss beautiful and others will not.
There will be a choice.
Yes. And that is where chaos and fun will ensue.
Yes. And we will not be explaining in any part of this show what the Wabi Sabi section is at all, because
it's a bit of a secret, but if you know, you know. And it's a fun way to introduce yourself to the brand. Sorry, not sorry. Because you get it at a bit of a discount. And as we always say, all of the staff shops Wabi Sabi first.
Oh, yeah.
So another thing, if you are new to Sorry Not Sorry and you're kind of thinking, this is a big step for me, I want to remind you that we do have a swap and sell group on Facebook. And the best way to get to it is if you are on Instagram or Facebook, you should be able to comment the word swap and it will give you the link. If you are on YouTube, I'm so sorry, you'll actually have to go to our website, check in the sales section, and you'll see a link to the swap and sell group. And lots of ladies are editing their closets, moving some pieces out to make room for new pieces. And I can attest that there are some unbelievable deals and silks in those collections there. So what am I wearing, you may ask? So this is a jacket that we used to carry. It's by a company called Baba, and they're made out of wool shawls with all of this fabulous embroidery, woolen embroidery on them. And I really love this. And I'm wearing it with a pair of jeans that I told you guys about before. These are the horseshoe easy fit jeans that are part tencel, part cotton from the Gap that showed up on my Facebook feed and spoke to me directly and said, you are going to love these. And I do.
They're the tencel pant? I thought that was the $200 pant.
Oh, guys, these are not those. These are the ones that I got from the garden center.
Psych prank.
Yeah. I reached into my closet and I said, I need a pair of these. And then I went with these. Okay, these are the ones I got from the garden center, guys, which means I can't help you find them. But there is a really great pair at the Gap called Horseshoe Easy Fit that fits very much as a barrel leg and fits a lot like the Bryn Walker Oliver pant. And for the Bryn Walker Oliver pant, if you know, you know, it's a great pant.
It is a great pant.
But these are not those.
No.
This is the beginning of the silly fun. Right there.
This was actually our pop quiz. Yeah, for everyone in the class.
So here I am wearing this lovely jacket and thinking to myself, what in heaven's name will I pair with this? Now, Shefali, when you picked pieces from the Wabi Sabi collection, did you have something already in mind for this?
So I picked stuff that would go with all the pieces and colors. There were certain things I also picked because I know you like to layer. So it's kind of like putting an outfit together, just having some fun. Like that would go really nice. I wanted to also show how ponchos could work in layered jackets. Yeah. I maybe even put a kimono sleeve in there. I put in some waterfalls. I put in some sides.
So you had too much fun.
I had so much fun. That's cute together.
Okay, let's give this a try. So this style here is called a tunic length caftan. Am I right? I am. Right, guys. And it has a slit on the side, which helps with styling. If you are watching on Instagram or Facebook, probably more Instagram though, you can comment hacks and it will take you through a little maze of finding hacks for all of our different styles. But I don't think we've included any hacks for the new side slit.
No, we haven't had the opportunity to.
But we will. We will at some point.
Mhm.
So let's try this on. So I thought I would start with jeans because I know that's something that people have in their closet. They're really easy to reach for. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun to wear jeans and then also layer something on top of it?
Mhm.
So these tops are designed so they're tunic length, and you can either wear the V to the front or the round neck to the front. Personally, I like the V. I like the V to the back because I like to have a bit of a boat neck at the front because my hips are wide and I feel like it balances it out. So here we go, guys. The silk is very, very soft. The colors are really just reds and blues, but then there's a place where they overlap and it kind of looks like a darker, almost black.
It's beautiful.
And it's so
Super
soft.
soft.
So let's see. Now we have this, which in the heat of this room feels great.
Yeah, honestly.
But let's see. If I wanted to turn it more into a top, what if I did a French tuck?
I think a French tuck would be cute, or you can all like if you are someone who is a lady who loves long and long layers because you want to
Cover what I just showed off.
I mean, show off what you got. But if you just want to have some flow, then
I suppose you could even belt it, right?
Yeah.
So I just tucked that into my cami, but I also could put that through, like put a belt under there,
Mhm.
or even not even like a belt, but like a string type belt.
Yeah.
A sash.
You know those string type belts? I do.
You know,
fondly.
you know those.
Margaret says, Happy Friday.
Happy
And she says,
Friday.
I got something off the swap and sell. I'm very happy with it. I
Good.
exchanged a boxy top for a gorgeous soft dust.
Oh, I'm so glad. So here you go. Now, I guess this is a does it or doesn't it situation.
I think it needs a necklace.
Okay, because I'm feeling a little bit of it doesn't. But I agree that it's probably the styling.
It needs something to break up.
And maybe to bring this here, right?
Yeah. No, not something that's the same, something different.
Oh, right.
Like this one or something, something frisky.
So this is one of our pop of color necklaces, and it's on a yellow leather band. And yes, I do think that helps tie it together. I don't know if it looks deliberate, intentional. Like I would say, would I wear this? Yes. Would I love wearing it together? No. But I would love to know everybody else's thoughts.
Christine says, hello, ladies. Christine said, I have worn the tunic length caftan tucked into jeans and then pulled out a blitzville blouse. Try that.
Which I could totally do. And what's great is because it's silk, it doesn't add any extra bulk. So let's see. So the camisole that I'm wearing, by the way, guys, is my Betty tank, which has the built-in bra, and I swear by it because even when you're really, really hot, it doesn't make you too warm. So let's see if I do that.
I would do it more.
Even more than that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to need to see the mirror here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
I think it needs like a full blouse moment.
Yes, it does.
Two blouse or not to blouse? That is the question.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks great as a blouse.
Yeah,
it really
it's cute
does.
As a blouse. It's very casual with like a nice belt. Oh, I should have brought my belt.
Yeah. Yeah. Shafali did some shopping. We went to vintage stores. We celebrated her birthday together. I said, you should take a friend. And she said, I'll take you. And my heart went,
like we don't spend every hour of every day together sometimes.
So true. But yeah, we had a really good time. We checked out all the different little areas in Toronto. We went to Kensington Market. We went to Leslieville, right? We did end up in Leslieville.
Yeah, we went
Riverside
to Leslieville,
Park.
Yeah. West
Queen West. So is that all the places? Why do I feel like we did so much
Kensington,
more?
we said, right?
Yeah. Go. Okay. It's there somewhere.
We'll get there eventually.
Yep.
Jane says, hi, everyone. Happy Snowy Friday. Michelle says, happy Friday.
Yeah, I like this way better.
Says, hello, everyone. Yeah, that's a better proportion.
Way better.
No, not today. We were there on Wednesday and Thursday because Wednesday was my actual birthday and Thursday was the day after. So we stayed at a hotel and we had dinner.
Mm-hmm. It was really nice. My husband came down and joined us for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bit of a spa day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had, thank you to Shelly. Oh, not Shelly. Sally from, ooh, that's cute.
Right?
Very cute.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great look.
This is very you.
It's
you know
so
what?
me.
This to me is also old you as well. Pre sorry not sorry.
Pre sorry not. Yeah, this is definitely how I would have dressed. Really casually. And while normally I find that this is a little roundy, I find that because this is bloused out over it,
You feel less shy about it?
yeah, and also because I've got the cardigan here that kind of hides the profile. Yeah, love it.
I saw there's a lot of discourse about the front fupa for younger women because like generally you have more of a pronounced one when you're younger if you're a bit curvier.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of discourse between guys of some guys being like, ew, that's so ugly. And other guys, like most guys being like, but that's the way, that's how a woman is curved. Like that's normal. And you can really tell who has a good relationship with women versus who has a bad relationship.
So my husband often says, I love your tummy. And I'm like, I can make more of that for you. The ingredients involve cookies.
Cookies and cake and cupcakes.
Like this looks really sweet too, right? Yeah. So you can see how just finding something that's just got a couple of colors in it, it would be really easy to pair it with what's already in your wardrobe, especially as we're moving into the cooler seasons where you're looking to layer and you've already got stuff, right? So this is the fun we've had with just one.
Oh my God. I actually, and Jackie, I think that's a really great idea. This cardigan, the tie-dye one you have, you should try it with the orange poncho that has the orange and the blue, the one that fell out and almost clung
to.
Yeah. Because Jackie was saying that the peach poncho would look much better with the jeans and the jacket. And I agree, that is very Jackie, and it would look even better with this specific cardigan. Not tucked would also work with the red cardigan. I love the red, says Jacqueline Webster.
It's a neutral.
I know, Sabina. You know what's funny? I literally in the morning when I was driving to Priya's house, oh no, it was the night before I was driving to Priya's house because we were going to leave early in the morning. I was in my head, I was like, I need to take the skirt so that maybe we can just drop it off to Sabina. And then I literally had a brain fart and completely forgot it. And I went, I'm just not going to say anything anymore.
This orange one?
This one. So I was thinking of you.
There we go. So this one has kind of a whitish, maybe ecru background. It is a Georgette silk, but it's really soft. And then here we have some polka dots on different shades of blue. And then these are different shades of fuchsia and actually red. Yeah, there's a little bit of red in there.
Marilyn says, good evening, ladies. Love your top with the jeans. Your jacket is fabulous. Happy belated birthday, Shafali. Thank you. Sounds like you had a good time. I did. I had a grand old time with this lovely lady in front of me. So
yes, we did. We had fun. And like once we got into the vintage stores, I was so out of my element because all I'm doing is looking at the racks and I'm like, I remember wearing that. I remember wearing that. I remember wearing that.
Kind of fun.
And so like it was really weird for me to see all of this stuff that used to be in my closet.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, look at that. I'm like,
so 80s.
I gave that away. I probably gave it to the Value Village, to be fair. Yeah, crazy. Now, this. That is an interesting idea, especially with these colors here in the front, right?
Yeah, like I even wonder if you turned it around.
Yeah. So if there's something you guys would like to see out of Wabi Sabi, ladies, let us know. This is really a chill, let's have some fun with things. Yeah, let's look at pretty things.
We were having so much fun, like playing dress up and just kind of trying on stuff at stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And you know what else was nice? We went into a couple of stores and chatted with the owners and we were like, oh yeah, we're from Sorry Not Sorry. And a number of them knew of us.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Like the Noble Cashmere.
Yes.
Which is just a cashmere pop-up in West Queen West. And we were there.
The denim store.
The denim store, yeah.
There's a third one. Oh, Common Sense.
Yeah, Common Sense, yeah.
Yeah. Or Common Good.
No, I think it was Common Sense.
Was it?
Common Sort.
Common Sort.
Common Sort.
Yeah, this looks great together. Was it Jackie who said to pair them?
Jackie had said this poncho, and then I had put these two together, but maybe that's what she implied in the comments.
Yeah, because like they were made for each other. And so here you see a poncho being used as a top. And it really works as a top. When you add a layer over top of it, literally nobody will know that it's not a top.
Yeah, and I do that as well all the time, especially with my jackets.
I could even do that pinafore style thing.
Yeah, so that you don't have sleeveys.
Yeah, let me try that too.
So this is a cat hack.
This is a hack. And you take this. Yeah, grab the whole bottom. So it's like all in one piece in your hand. And then you're going to tuck it through. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
There. And then you tie these two sides together. Oh, where'd she go?
I think it's because too much is bunched up in the corner.
Yeah.
That, like, do you see how much is bunched up there?
Yeah.
You just needed to kind of
loosen that a
little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even tie it. I would just leave it.
Just leave it like that, pinafore style?
Yeah.
Well, it does add a bit of like a scarfy effect, doesn't it?
So, like, I know you're having a bit of an interesting time with no mirror, but
that's okay. There's one here if I get desperate.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it just needs a slight adjust.
Yeah.
But then other than that, it's good.
It's cute, eh? So we used to sell these as well. Some of you may have these in your closet still. So I don't feel that really makes a difference on the arms. But I guess where I do see a difference is it does give you a little bit of fabric down here that's kind of fun to play with. A little bit of length on the sides. You know what game we can play? Remember we used to play that game? There was a game where now that I've tried this on, I have to wear something else that goes with this. And then, do you know what I mean? We have to go back and forth. I do remember we played that once. It was so confusing. You're like, I don't get it. I'm like, well, it's kind of like a game where
pick one, and then I was like, oh,
but you can only change one. But you have to keep on the one that you put on last.
That quickly.
We did.
But it's like telling, and this is a very, very Sagittarius thing, telling Sagittarius that there has to be rules in the adventure is such a moment.
It's either an adventure or it's rules.
So I actually had another thing for the Baba jacket that I thought would be really sweet. That would be really nice.
Okay, so I'm going to put this with this.
Okay.
But then it's going to be this with whatever.
So we are doing that game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We need a level of challenge here. Okay. So just a fun reminder that, first of all, this is unbelievably soft. You all need to know.
I feel like she wasn't getting her moment on the rack.
No, she really wasn't. It's fabulously soft. And then it has this kind of lavender gray at the bottom.
I don't know if you guys heard that. Whoosh.
Yeah, like it's beautiful. You know what I really noticed today when I was picking saris? Thank you, those of you who joined me, and thank you for your input, because it's hard to make decisions that fast. What was I going to say? It's already gone. Oh, that you could really see how soft the silk was.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were some saris where like that one's soft, and she goes, "Yeah, how do you know?" I'm like, "You can see it.
You can literally see it." And also the saris that have like the Zardozi or the Jari or the Mukesh work, I know are soft because they're always soft, and then they add the embroidery.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different ways you can wear this. I do like wearing a vest as a top, especially if you're going to put on a jacket with it.
I think especially if you have a no takeoff jacket, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like something that's not going to come off fast. And then you can kind of cowl that out, add a fun necklace over it.
Definitely a shorter necklace.
Yeah, something that's more in here.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you all of you who have brought in jewelry that you've fallen out of love with, perhaps. We have added it to our donation table. People have been buying it, and we have followed Shefali's suggestion, and all the money is going to the YWCA of Hamilton. And we're selling those pieces for $5 each. Some people who can't afford to buy gifts right now are snapping them up and are so happy. And it is doing exactly what we wanted to do, which was help bring things back onto the market to recycle them and reuse them in a way that helps community. And that is definitely one of our goals. And it wouldn't work if you guys didn't work with us. So another way of styling this, and this is one of my favorite ways with like this, and again, this goes to Lori. This goes out to Lori in BC. I saw her do this and I am obsessed. So she puts on her vest as a vest like that, and then took her jacket and put it on over top so that this kind of comes out through the sides like that. And I think if I even wore it the other way, so it was a bit longer in the front, it would come right down to the base. And I feel like it looks intentional.
I actually picked quite a few pieces so that you can do that. Because I really like this effect. And I also think it gives you the ability to wear a super long necklace.
Yes.
Because you know what I think really shows off a columnar look is everything on the side and then the single side.
Right. And that's how we started the brand, really. It was the idea of before we got really creative and saw the potential, it was really just saying, take that thing that you have, that black top and those black pants, and use that as your underpinning and throw in a piece of silk and watch how it takes you from I'm sitting at home eating chips in front of the TV to me to
elegantly eating chips.
Elegantly eating chips. I use chopsticks to eat my chips.
Oh. A woman of taste.
A woman of taste. I do actually use chopsticks to eat popcorn.
That's very efficient.
It is efficient because then you're not stopping to lick your fingers all the time.
But isn't that the whole point of eating popcorn and also Cheetos is like the satisfaction of that, and Jane asks, and this is fun for us to know, Priya.
Yes.
You can't seem to save things onto the wish list.
Okay. So this has actually happened before. And you should be able to save things onto the wish list if you clear your cookies. So that's what we have noticed is that it's not an issue necessarily with the wish list, because if it were, everybody would be telling me. And the fact that you're the only person who's told me, because the last time it happened, it was the same thing. Nobody else told me. And I spent so much time on the back end trying to figure it out. And then I was like, I bet you need to clear your cookies. And it worked. So try that first, Jane. And if that doesn't work, then I will get on it and speak to those people.
Yes.
Yes.
With a passion. Vengeance. And she said, okay. And Lori said, hi, everyone. And Christine said, yes, that happened to me also. Yeah.
I would say I was. It was Christine that it happened to.
Yeah. So
give that a try. It is possible. I was talking to somebody today, and I cannot tell you who it is because it is part of a. No, I can. I can tell you. I can tell you. Yeah, because it's all been sorted.
Yeah.
No, I can't tell that.
No,
I will tell that soon.
Yeah.
I will tell that today. Guys, I have some really big news.
Just casually.
Guys, I have really great news. So this is what I'm going to add to the pink piece is this piece. Now, this I got from a brand that we used to carry. It's Azur by Munvi. This was a collection that we didn't carry in our store. It's a velvet jacket. It's fully lined. It kind of is more like a spring coat or a fall coat. And I love it. And I don't reach for it enough. Okay, so what I was going to tell you is that somebody bought gift certificates from us to give to customers who we know and love. And first of all, the gift certificates ended up in the spam folder. So if you think that maybe there's a gift certificate coming your way, do go in and check your junk folders. The other thing is that this person was telling me that he was out with a friend who worked at the back end of Shopify. And he said, yeah, Shopify is so glitchy. And I'm like, and he's like, oh my God, I was out somewhere and I was trying to do this thing and I couldn't do it. And the friend beside me, turns out he worked for Shopify and he took my phone and he's like, oh, I see exactly what's going on. He went into the back end, fixed it, and then he was able to purchase. And his friend's like, yeah, Shopify is really glitchy. Because I feel like, sometimes we're like, it's not us, but it was really reassuring and reaffirming to have somebody who is actually in Shopify going, this is such a common problem. I know how to fix it. Just like that movie where they had if you guys will remember the name of it, Shefali won't. It's that one with John Travolta where the nuclear missile went missing. And that name of the movie is the term they use for when a nuclear missile goes missing. Shoot. And one of the lines that Travolta says is, it happens so often you have a name for it. And I feel like that's us with Shopify.
Broken arrow.
A broken arrow. Okay, so this looks like they were made to go together.
I was thinking a really cool piece with that would be this Wabi Sabi that has the red lace at the bottom.
With this jacket?
Yeah.
Perfect, because that's what we're doing next. You got it. You got this figured out.
You've been having it figured out.
You always do.
But liking it is another question. That's the true thing.
Okay. This goes here. And I have said this before, if you are somebody who got a gift certificate, and you would like that gift certificate to be added to your loyalty points instead of being a separate gift certificate, just let us know. Because what we can do is invalidate the gift certificate, then take the points, like the $50 or whatever it is, add it directly onto your loyalty points so that you can use it all at once. Because otherwise you can only add one thing at a time. So you would either use your gift card or you would use your points. This way you get to use both.
Yeah. So just let
us know. We can do that for you. So you wanted me to put this jacket on again
with the side slit top that has the red lace, and it's kind of black, not really black. It's like a green.
So I'll find it. And what are our ladies saying?
Bethany said, receive my pillowcases today.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And Puppy Bunny Cat, which is a great name for Puppy Bunny Cat, says, Broken Arrow. That's
the one.
And Dale,
I laughed so hard when they said that. It happens so often. You have a name, and I'm like, he's right.
And
I don't see it, Shafali. Okay, you said it was black almost and red.
No, it's it's a gray, greeny black.
And it's a side slit.
It's a side slit top with a lace border. All the side slits are like in one little section together.
Okay.
Because I pulled them all at the same time.
Yes. This is me moving hangers. This is quality television right here.
It's a side slit top with red lace at the bottom. Like you've seen it before. You know this one.
I know her. We've met. I see her. Okay, this one. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a deep green. Has a fabulous red border at the bottom. The other, it's really soft. You need to know that it's very, very really soft. This is a slightly brighter red, but it has darker red bits in it. And then this color here, it's cardboard brown. And a little bit of burgundy-ish brown in there, like maybe a nutmeg. But it also has greeny undertones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So mostly green and red. This would be a pretty good holiday top because it wouldn't have to only be holiday.
Here comes Santa Claus.
So you think this one with that velvet jacket?
Yeah, why not?
It could work, right? Because they both have greeny undertones.
And I thought it's green and red. It'll pop out the red a little bit, but it won't be too exact.
Yeah.
Like the waterfall top you like to pair this one with?
Yes.
On your wall?
It's been sitting on my wall. I put together an outfit with this jacket and my my time pants. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to look so good. And I just haven't had a chance to wear it. So it's been sitting there probably for 2 weeks waiting for the day I get to wear her. Okay, what do we think?
I like it. It just needs a necklace.
Yeah.
I think the consensus here on all fronts is a necklace is needed. Why don't you try the gold necklace this whether we can on this mannequin?
Mannequin?
Yes.
Okay.
Mannequin.
The mannequin. You know, I appreciate how good you are at making conversation, because if you weren't here, I'd be like, deer in the headlights. And then you ask all these questions like, that's a really good question. Excellent, excellent question.
So you know what I love about this jacket? It is structured in almost like you're joining a really fashionable version of the Indian Army.
It is. For me, it's a really structured jacket, which is why I tend to stay away from it.
Because you don't have a very structured sense of style.
I do not at all. It's that pendulum swing. I went from so structured to get me the hell out of anything with buttons. Like, just, I don't want to do it. But, you know, as we move into colder weather, it's not a bad idea to open my mind a little bit. And this does look really sweet together.
I think, honestly, even for the colder weather, what it needs is a really chunky, funky scarf.
Yes, which I could probably do. Where's that pink one?
Yeah, definitely a pink, chunky funk.
So this, again, is a versatile vest. And what I like to do is drop one side. Put on all the
sides. Cute. That's really nice. And then some blue.
Yeah, to see
and then it
yeah. Funky pair of shoes.
Yeah.
They're really cute.
Ooh. Okay, so I have a question for you, Freya.
Yes.
What was your favorite store that we visited during our time in Toronto?
Ooh, that is a tough question.
You can pick top 3, 2 to 3.
Okay, I would have to say the cashmere store was really high up.
Yeah.
So it was called the
Noble Cashmere.
Noble Cashmere. The owner, proprietress of the store, her last name is Noble. and it's on West Queen West in Toronto, which is a really funky neighborhood. And what she does is she shares a space, it's a corner space, with another store. So what it essentially is they take turns doing pop-ups. And it's smart because then none of them are paying those high prices, and it allows them to go do markets and things elsewhere. And what she does is she goes around and collects cashmere, beautiful, like expensive high-end cashmere. And then where necessary, she repairs it with little patches, very much like us. She has little oblong patches, little moon-shaped patches, and some pieces don't need patching at all. And then she just sorts them by size and sells them. So she's rescuing cashmere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, love it.
And
love it.
I forget that there were old, like, companies that don't use good quality material anymore that used to make cashmere. Like, I saw J. Crew cashmere.
Yeah.
I saw, there were some companies I saw, I was like, there's no way that this is cashmere.
Yeah. Sometimes it used to be like people used to expect only to get fine things. You would pay for the fine thing. How do we feel about this? So this coat you may recognize from many, many moons ago. I got it from a business that was on James Street North for a while. She was doing like in a vendor's market. The name of the brand is, have we both forgotten? Oh dear.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. I know I showed it to you guys before. So she created this for a runway show. It's actually pieces of denim that have been
Certitude by K.
Certitude, as in I am so certain I have certitude by K. And then on top of it, they use a dyeing technique, which is really common. Is it like a tie dyeing technique from Sri Lanka?
So batik is originally from Indonesia, but Sri Lanka has a lot of batik pieces, and her family has been doing batik collections in Sri Lanka for years, for generations. So she just took over the business and kind of brought it to the Western world.
Yeah, and she's been, she's really worked hard to promote her brand.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple of setbacks along the way, but if you want to write the name, it may be in the chat so people can look for her. It's Certitude by K.
I can do that.
And unlike a lot of brands that are like upcycled, I did find that there were pieces in her collection that would fit me. And that's rare, which is why I grabbed the jacket. As soon as she took it off the runway, I'm like, fine.
Sabina said, I like the cashmere store, been there for 2 to 3 years as a pop-up. Jackie asked, do you like her style of patches?
I do, actually.
And Jackie said no. And I'm not sure why she said no.
Oh. Well, I like them. I thought they looked mid-century modern.
I think for the style of customers that she has, like, I noticed that the sense of style she has is very delicate. Yeah. And I think for the kind of women that were, and the lovely people that were shopping there, it really works with a softer, more seamless kind of minimalist.
Yeah,
style.
it was a very minimalist,
but it was still
look.
Stylish. Yeah.
So like, I would enjoy wearing something with a patch on it, and especially if it's a really fine cashmere, I'd be really excited to be able to put that baby back out on display.
Yeah.
So I do like them, but she also seemed very accommodating. Like, I'm sure if you said, I only want patches that look like blah, 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 she would accommodate you.
I think so.
But yeah, I really loved, she talked about maybe doing a collaboration with us, and I would love to, because I felt we really aligned in what we're trying to do by rescuing these really luxurious fabrics, and appreciating them for what they are and the stories that they've told and the journeys that they go on. So I think this works really well. Or is it too orange?
Too. I just think it needs, once again, a necklace to kind of break it up, but something longer. Your necklace is underneath. Where is it? No to last look. Oh, she did not like the last.
Okay.
And Lori said, I love that jacket if you ever want to sell it.
It is beautiful. I do love it.
I might beat you to it though, Lori. Sorry.
I don't reach for it enough. And also I love looking at it.
I know. And that's why I know you keep it, because I remember the first time you saw it, you wouldn't stop. You didn't say anything. You just kind of looked at it.
Yeah. I'm like, this beautiful thing needs to be a part of my life.
And I really like that about Kancana's pieces. They definitely have a very unique edge to them because they're all handmade. They're one-of-a-kind pieces. And she recycles old denim and stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of great.
Yeah. And then there was, speaking of denim, we did see a store on West Queen West. They make, it's a Canadian brand of denim.
Yeah.
What's the name of the brand of the pants you got? Not the store, but the brand.
Miss me? Oh, no. It was 9 West.
Oh, no.
No, 9 by West or something.
No, I thought it was like Rough and Wild or something like that.
No, the style was called Wild Wild West.
Right. But what was the name of
The denim company was called, I think it's called 9 West. Yeah, 9 West Canada.
Okay. What made me think it was something else? Because he kept saying blah, blah, blah company makes really great denim.
Is it 9 West or is it?
I need to find something else to pair with this.
Denim. Hold on. Yeah, that would be nice. What other jackets do you? Why don't you try one of your cardigans?
Like these? Okay. So I brought a couple of.
Why don't you do your gray one?
Okay. So this is a brand we also used to carry in our store many, many years ago when we first opened. It's an alpaca brand. I don't know if she's still in business because it's tough. It's tough having a business. But the name of the company is Form, F-F-O-R-M, and that's it, Form. So this was a cardigan. It's made out of alpaca that I got when she was in, like when we carried her brand. And I do love it. Very, very generously cut. So what do we think of that? What happened if wrong?
I think that's really sweet.
Yeah. And I like how this doesn't match exactly. Now, this actually has green and black in it. Hopefully you can see we have different shades of orange. There's a little bit of red in this orange in the lines. And then this is a military green in here, but this is a black, not a brown, a black. Like that. So now the sweater stays on and we move to something else. I'm going to try this with the sweater. How do we feel about that?
There's a waterfall top there I think you should try. It's got, nope, keep going. Do you see it? It's got beige and gray and yeah.
So I remember showing this one. Yeah, I'm amazed this one hasn't sold. Oh yeah, beautiful.
Okay. Oh, it's not called 9 West. It's called Naked and Famous. Because
that's like, what I knew it was 2 words.
I was like, you know what? It's like I remember West, but I also remember thinking it's like a band.
Yeah,
Naked and Famous is also a band.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Naked and Famous. So they're a Japanese style, like kind of selvage denim, and I got these really great pants.
She really did. Yeah, it was
kind of funny. So we're.
Are you going to tell the story?
No,
about that guy.
But I was just going to say the initial thing of when we first walked out of the cashmere store. And then I'm like, oh, I'm looking and I'm like, oh, is that a denim store? I'm praising the phone. And she's like, I think it's a guy store. And I was like, let's just go in. Because I kind of had a feeling they also have denim and stuff. She's like, let's go. And then
I didn't know. It's not my normal neck of the woods. See to learn and grow though.
But it was funny. And then.
So this is the funny thing. I realize I have become an old woman. An old cranky woman. So I'm in the store and Shefali has found this lovely salesperson. He really was very lovely. And he gave her
the store, I think.
Yeah,
or like he
might have been managed it. He was definitely invested in the store, emotionally invested. So he's like, he gave Shefali some pants and I'm sitting at the back and I'm looking and I'm like, Shefali, you know what? I think that those are just a little bit too big on you. We need to go get you the other size. So she marches to the front of the store. I'm marching to the front of the store and I'm looking at, like, this is a denim store, right? So it's an entire wall full of like boxy shelves. And inside each of these shelves are piles of jeans. And is it really well labeled? No, it is not, friends. So I'm like, how do you find what you're looking for? And she's like going through and searching. And I'm like, you're going to buy a $200 pair of jeans and find them yourself? She's like, I'm like, no. To the guy who works there. And I stand like this, waiting for him to turn to look at me. Meanwhile, there's another guy in the store and he's a youngin', and Shefali thinks was he flirting with you? Like, what's going on there?
I think he maybe wanted to have a conversation, but also there was no social opportunity to have a conversation. And also we seemed cool enough that like he wanted to understand who we were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was really strange. In any case, the guy would not.
Strange that a young man who was attractive was interested in us.
What was strange for me is this young man kept on talking. Like he saw us standing there. He knew that Shefali had a pair of jeans on. Clearly we had been helped before. It would be okay for him to go, oh, just answer her question. We can get back to this conversation. What was this unbelievably important life-changing conversation? Will a natural vegetable dye on my denim transfer onto something I'm wearing that's white? The guy gave the short answer. Yes, probably. Was he okay with that? No. He turned it into a 15-minute conversation. And I am dying because I'm apparently 100 years old and cranky. And I'm like, how is it he's not even looking over at us? How is he not like $200 jeans? Give me the freaking time of day, right?
Like the guy who was helping him was being super
super nice,
super informative. And like, obviously I know, because I know a bit about denim, that like what this guy he was doing the thing where he was like, I'm going to flex that I'm like really interesting and I know stuff about jeans. And I'm like, honey, you have no idea.
And I'm thinking like, you know what? If you're going to flex, find me a chair. It's like, that's it. Give me a chair, I'll be happy.
So Priya's standing there, and then she's looking at me, and I am like starting to smile out of laughter because I think it's so funny how irritated Priya is.
So irritated, guys.
And then I just butt in and I say, well, you know, like any natural fiber that's dyed is like has the potential of bleeding, especially with indigo dye.
So then the guy looks over at Shefali, and I'm like, my chance. And I'm like, hey, friend, that girl needs a bigger size. Or smaller size. But yeah, I have never felt so like old. I could not believe how impatient I was. I've seen that in other people and laughed and went, they're so old. And I'm like, oh my God, I've turned into her. And everybody was really nice. I can't even say that anybody was like being a dick or not doing their job. In fact, everybody was socially wonderful.
Yeah, and this guy,
and I'm just like,
friend.
My life is passing. I may only have 20 years. You're using up vital seconds. So this is it with a navy cardigan.
Margot says, hello, Silky friend.
Hello.
Sabina says, did he help you find your jeans? Yes, he did.
He really did. And we had a lovely conversation with him. Everybody was really nice.
And we followed them on Instagram.
Yes. There was no excuse for my behavior, friends. But it was really funny to watch myself.
Like from a bird's eye.
Like, let that girl go. Like, chill, will ya?
It was like, I went to get rosebud earrings and they were sold out, Margot. And Margot says, oh no, Lori. Sabina says, Priya, you are not Blooming cranky. It's the Queen West attitude. And Jonathan Webster says, sounds like he was obsessing over details that he could have been on the spectrum. I
don't know, but I definitely felt like that could have been an email.
He had also like, there was a phone call that Priya and I got that we took outside of a store that was not open when it said it was going to be open on Google. Here to watch Priya go like, I don't understand. It says they're open at 10:30. Why aren't they open? I don't understand. And then I'm like, Priya, they're obviously not open. And then she goes to the door that's not even the business's door. It's another business.
I'm like, it's not a fit. Oh my God. End of the weekend or the end of the 2 days, I said to Shefali, I'm really impressed that you could spend 2 days with me. And her response, yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah. That's fine. Don't worry.
No, it's fine. It's a
yeah.
Yeah. I know who I'm dealing with here.
And yeah, I think I had noticed that this guy was looking at us in this corner, or I think maybe me. I would like to say me. Maybe he fell in love with you, Priya. Who knows?
Maybe.
And then
I'm pretty hot and impatient.
Maybe he likes a feisty woman.
Yes. So I just attached that into my belt loop, which I normally don't have, but today I do.
Yeah. And Margot says, you're not old. Don't put that out there in the universe. And Jackie says, you need a dark necklace for the light waterfall.
Yes, absolutely.
Really nice.
So we're back with the navy sweater, which is cashmere, which I could have bought at that store.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do we think?
It's cute. It's very classy. You know what? You wouldn't think it was sorry, not sorry.
You wouldn't. You really wouldn't.
Like, you wouldn't think it was a sorry. You would be like, oh, yeah, I found this in a gallery.
Well, and I think you can say that. Why not? But yeah, I think that people sometimes, because we've been wearing Sorry Not Sorry for so long, that we have just, with the help of you, felt so much community that we're like, I will wear whatever I darn well please because it makes me happy, like a little girl. But, now that I'm pulling pieces that were from my pre-Sorry Not Sorry wardrobe, like this is 100% something I would have worn.
Yeah.
And not because it was a sorry, I would have worn it because it's kind of cool.
It's cool. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
You look good. You're still fashionable.
And really comfortable.
And you can still teach in it.
Yeah, I could totally teach in that. So once again, this was a high-low top. And those of you who watched our sorry picking this morning know that we picked some amazing high-low top
fabrics. Yes.
Yes, because Christine was participating. And Christine messaged. I'm like, right, high-low tops for Christine. Just like we were doing for Morag, the side ties.
Side ties,
yeah. And I'm like, right, she wants those. And then somebody else, I think Julie, was watching, and she was like, that could be a baby doll. That could be a baby doll. And she wasn't wrong. But yeah, we make decisions really quickly. And then there was this one, that it reminded me of a can of Sprite, which is why ultimately I was like, no. And then a bunch of people were like, no, bring that one back up. And honestly, it was kind of nice.
But like, it's kind of cool to have a sorry that
it is.
A can of Sprite.
It is. It was really cool. It was a beautiful yellow and a beautiful green. And you have to remember with those colors, when you see them online, they always look more vivid than they are in person. Usually when we show a piece here, we'll tell you, like, when you see it on screen, it looks like this is really bright and contrasty, but it actually is very tonal, even though they're such different colors.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are on
lots of love for the belt loop hack.
Right? I think it was one of you who came up with it. Why do I feel like it was Amy?
Maybe it was
Amy. I feel like it was Amy.
Amy, clear your name. Or confirm.
So here we go. I am now going back to this jacket because this is also navies with orange. And then I have to go back to this one.
Yeah, there is another piece you can wear with that jacket that I think would be really nice too. Cute. Wow, I'm so shocked it worked together.
Really? No, this was definitely a no-brainer. Yeah. That's why I picked it. Yeah. But what I wanted to really show you guys is that if you're wearing a high-low top and you're worried about having that tail out the back, this is a really easy way to get rid of the tail. Whether you end up tucking it into your belt loop, or whether you put a knot in it, or you use a Ziska bead or some sort of a bead to pull it together, being able to draw it forward will shorten it and get it out from back here. Okay, what's next?
There is a cardigan in front here.
Okay.
It's got these with that jacket.
Yep.
It's got these very vivid flowers on it. Yep.
Ooh, that's not cardigan.
Oh, I thought I pulled the cardigan.
This is the waterfall, but you may have pulled the cardigan.
Maybe I did. I think I pulled the cardigan. If you see that fabric in the cardigan, I thought that would look nice as a layer with that jacket.
Okay.
You know, like a little pokey out layer.
This is beautiful. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be.
It's very unusual, but I thought it'd be nice.
Yeah, I like it.
So you never answered my question, Priyo.
Favorite store?
You said one favorite store.
And I had to name two?
2 to 3.
Oh my God. Okay, 3. That's a lot. Okay, so there was this one vintage store that I don't remember the name of. It was on it was in Riverside. Riverside, which is on Queen Street heading towards Leslie. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know the name of it. Shefali was in and out of the store. She took one look around. She goes, not what I'm looking for.
I was looking for, and actually it's funny, Goat said something very particular today. Yesterday he said, when I gave him the haul, he was like, you have a very particular sense of style.
She really does. Like, there are pieces, as soon as Shefali puts them on, I'm like, it looks like, whenever I say it looks like it was always yours, we've nailed her style. Yeah. That's the one. Well, this store for me, because when I go into these vintage stores, I am not necessarily in awe of this 1990s style because I feel like been there, done that. This was a vintage store where I felt like every piece that was in it was special in how it was crafted.
Yeah.
Like, there was this one vest that was made out of some sort of, it felt like hemp, but then it was also some other natural fiber and it was woven together. And there were a lot of 1950s school sweaters that you could tell had been either handmade or were not quite so mass produced. But yeah, those I could have spent all day just looking at the construction and the fibers. Whereas I think what Shefali was looking for was more fashion elements, right? To fit a vision of, and she did great. Honestly, she went into those stores and I'm just looking at these racks going, I don't see it. And she'd be like, this one. And she'd try it on and they'd be perfect. So there you have it.
I had one woman, not during this time, but there was another time when I had gone shopping and I was in a store for like literally 6 minutes and I in and out tried it. I said, okay, I'll grab these. And she's like, oh, you're very fast. I'm like, yes, I'm a very efficient shopper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of whimsical, right?
I do. I like it. I like it. I like how it brings this other shade of green in.
And that's what I think I liked about it is the idea of the pops of green kind of coming together.
And then the bigger florals here with the more geometrics down there.
Yeah.
Because again, it functions like a scarf, right? And it's a layer that's not going to make you too warm because it's silk.
And then if you had a necklace, oh wait, I think I know the perfect necklace. Don't move.
I'm not to move, ladies. Oh, right. We got some of our heart necklaces and they're on sale, right?
Yes.
So this one is called teal, I believe. Yeah, this is the teal heart necklace. So yeah, I would say that store was one of my favorites. And then I think my third store is going to be a restaurant.
Yeah.
Was it called Mantika?
I think it was Manika.
Could be Manika. So ladies, anyone who's from Toronto, help us out here.
In Ossington.
It was on Ossington and they also had a location in Rosedale. And I think it was called Manika. And it was just sandwiches and salads and soup and it was divine.
Very French.
Very French. Yeah. Without sounding like super bougie, the one thing I remember about eating in France was every bite was like the perfect bite because every single detail had been looked to. The vegetables were fresh and crisp. The dressing was perfectly blended. The cheese was the right temperature. All the things that add up to create an incredible meal. I felt like this restaurant nailed it, even though the plates were so simple. I fill up very quickly, so I often leave a little bit on my plate because I just can't eat it. And this one, I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It was just too good.
It was really good.
And then we stole fries from the table. Okay, I can honestly say I have never done this before, but everybody had been talking to me about how great the fries were. And I was kind of hoping that my croque madame sandwich was going to have fries on the side, but it didn't. Have a salad. The salad was excellent. And there were these two girls sitting next to us who were really nice people. Really, really liked them. And so we were chatting with them and Shefali was giving them dating advice that was really funny. And then they left and Shefali and I both looked at their half-eaten plates.
Wait, don't forget the martini, because I think the martini influences the theme of these events in our adventure.
Shefali imbibed on this trip and rated the different martinis in all the different places where she chose to have a martini. So of course, post martini, Shefali says, "You should grab a fry." And I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I really should. Because we had been talking to those girls, right? It was almost like in France where your tables are right up next to each other.
You hear something funny and you're
you join in a little bit and then you imagine that's imaginary wall again. But because I told my daughter and she's like, "You did not." And I said, I feel like if they had sat there a little longer, I would have asked for one and they would have said yes.
We ended up telling the waitress.
But we said it in the negative.
Yeah.
We
and
did not.
So funny.
Yeah.
Also not something I partake in as well.
I've never done that before.
But it was so funny. I felt like every time I had a martini, and I'm not somebody who drinks a lot anymore at all. I literally will have one glass of wine every 3 months. And I had the martini. It was my first time in a while. And I noticed every time I had drank something, Priya also started acting.
I got giddy. She drank and I got giddy. It was really embarrassing. Embarrassing for us all. I had no excuse. At one point, didn't I do a twirl in front of the elevator?
That was in the night. So we had dinner in the Park Hyatt's hotel restaurant, which is called As Goat Says Johnny.
She kept calling it Johnny, but it's Joni.
So we had that, and then they have the bar upstairs, which is called the writer's room, which is actually very interesting.
Really cool. So apparently there was, so anybody who's up on Toronto history will probably be able to correct what I'm saying. But when I was growing up, my parents told me that Yorkville was a really hippie area. Right now, Yorkville is kind of like a really bougie area. And you find a lot of really expensive boutiques, and it kind of backs onto Bloor Street at Yonge, where you also find all the Cartiers and Tiffany's and Hermes and all of that. So it used to be a really rundown area of Toronto that was frequented by the hippies. And eventually it got gentrified. But during that hippie time, all of the famous Canadian writers like Margaret Atwood and Michael Ondaatje and...
Ondaatje, yeah. Is it Ondaatje or is it?
Ondaatje.
Okay.
Michael Ondaatje and Graham Gibson, and there was another one, Mordecai Richler.
Yeah.
Rickler, they all came and they would hang out in this really hippie part of Ontario, Toronto. So I think there was a bar called the Writers' Room that they all used to go to. And so they recreated the Writers' Room at the top of the Park Hyatt Hotel. And it was really cool.
It was so New York.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun because the drinks, oh my God, the lighting was so dark. I couldn't even read the descriptions of the drinks.
Yeah,
it was either because of that or it was because I had 3 martinis at that point. And so I'm reading it and Priya's sitting across from me and we're so far apart. And she's like, what are you going to get? And I'm like, the glass orchard. And she's like, what?
Yeah. What the heck is a glass orchard? Like she's telling it to me like it's like, you know, I'm getting a Cosmo.
Like a Gibson.
Like a Gibson. And I'm like, okay. And I had no idea, which apparently is a thing I do because we realized that today too. Because I was like, where's my phone? And she goes, I'm using it. I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, I asked you. And I said, okay. And she goes, you said, yeah, sure. I said, oh, I do that a lot. I didn't hear a word you said. I figured I'd probably agree anyways.
So Margot says, do the rich lady hack with the long coat for the cardigan. So that same.
Oh, I will totally do that.
So we'll do that.
Yes.
Very smart, Margot. And Jacqueline says, perfect matching with the cardigan and the long coat. So
honestly, we were talking, but I was glad that you guys noted it because it was chef's kiss. It really turned this structured jacket into something that I feel like I would go for, right? Just by adding that little flowy layer that coordinated and add a little bit of softness to, like, this is a fairly bold fabric. Like it's heavy. It's got some substance to it.
Well,
and
it's rigid.
It's rigid. And then when I added that cardigan, which was ouch, my neck. Gone.
She ate it. She was hungry.
It happens. Yeah, it's totally gone, guys. I could show it to you again, but I can't. But yeah, when I added this to it, it just softened it enough.
How are you going to do the hack?
I don't even know. I'll find it again. But look at that together.
Really nice.
That is seamless.
Seamless.
That's what I was looking for. Something that would make this coat fit the rest of my wardrobe. It's beautiful.
Sabina says, yes, it's true. Yorkville was a hippie area, cafes, live music, etc.
Yeah.
Jackie says was rundown hippie city, smartly made it hip, which transformed it to the upmarket.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there it is. Okay, I will try this with the hack.
Yeah, so we had the fries there. It was really good.
We had our neighbor's fries.
Yeah. And then don't forget the tiramisu.
The tiramisu, again, is one of those desserts that I get and I have a couple of bites of and I go, yeah, this is definitely pretty good. I could not stop eating this tiramisu.
And Priya was like, one bite, Shefali.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen. So the reason I thought it was so good, in addition to the flavors being perfectly balanced, where you weren't overwhelmed with alcohol or chocolate or cream or anything, was that there was a dusted layer of cocoa on top. So as soon as you put the bite in your mouth, the cocoa would coat your entire mouth. And then that cocoa would dissolve slowly as you ate the bite. So it was like each bite was enrobed in this chocolate.
That sounded so beautiful.
It was
you captured that perfectly.
Good. It was too good. Okay, does this work?
Yeah, I like it.
I think so.
That food was comparable to food I had in Europe recently.
Yeah.
Like it was delicious.
It was delicious. So it was my daughter Hannah who said that we should go there. And it was only a hop, skip, and a jump away, which was nice. We did cab everywhere though, or Uber everywhere because it's so hard to find parking.
So we literally did hop, skip, and jump. Yeah,
we did.
Amy says, "Hey, friends, happy Friday."
Hey,
Amy.
That's the same, right?
Okay. Yeah. I also thought this was an interesting piece to show because of the feel of this fabric.
Well, I'm really glad you brought that up, Shefali, because today when I was doing the sari picking with Anshul, she was trying to describe this fabric to me and she used a term that I hadn't heard of before. And she says, they soak it in that solution and then they roll it onto a roll until it hardens. And that's why it feels that way. And I'm like, starch? And she's like, yes, starch. But I had never thought that if you're doing a sari, you're going to starch it differently than you would starch like a shirt.
Yeah.
Right? Because how do you take 6 yards of fabric
and starch it
and get it to not crease. Yeah. And the only way to do it would be to dip it in starch and then roll it and dry it at the same time. So anyways, yeah. So this one feels very starchy. And I also feel like this one, the starch will come out.
This one, the starch will definitely come out. It just needs to be worn. And I've had a silk before like this that has been heavily starched. And I wore it and it started to feel very soft.
Yeah. And so the trick that I've been using, if I feel like something is really starchy, is I just do a lot of this, and the heat from my hand and the crunching of the starch shows you how soft it's going to get. Yeah, and this is already so much softer.
So Deborah says, happy Friday, everyone. Hope you all had an amazing holiday week. But I laughed because at the same time, exact same time, Sabina said, Kriya, that was tiramisu poetry to my ears.
Oh, it was so good. Guys, I will be going back there.
She did have a spiritual experience.
I was. And, you know, I like good food, but there are very few meals where I'm like, this is to die for. And that was definitely one of them.
Yeah. Well, Priya was a very bad influence for me under my influence of alcohol.
What are you going to talk about? I was a bad influence in so many ways.
No, I mean, in terms of the Manika. Remember?
Oh.
What I did?
Was that there?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was so.
So as you may or may not know, I've got to try this on the other way, right? So, okay. As you may or may not know, Shefali has a little bit of a extend a crush on this boy. And she has reached out to this boy and said, I think I'm in love. Haha, lol, LOL.
By a letter.
Yeah. And wrote him a letter. And
it was less that and more impassioned at that.
It was quite impassioned. And sent him this letter. And despite them having a friendship, a really long, extended friendship, he ghosted her. Not a word. And so since then where did I put the jacket now? So since then they've had one or two here. Since then they've had one or two like really brief conversations, but they've never really addressed this letter. So Shefali says, because she says, should I invite so-and-so to have dinner with us tonight? They said, well, you can invite your friend Crystal if you want. Is she in town? And she's like, no, she's not in town.
Though it specifically said, find a single male to invite into your So
she says, well, what if I text this guy? And I'm like, do it. It's your birthday. You got a birthday pass. She did. She texted.
No, I gave you the phone. And
and I wrote it because I knew my text was not going to be impassioned. It was, hey, I'm in town. I'm going out for dinner. If you're free, you should join us.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's good.
And then she said, yeah, let me read it. And then she starts adding on to it all the mushy emotional stuff. And I'm like, delete. You do not need to say any of that.
And that's alcohol bad.
Oh, look at it like this.
I love it like that.
Wow. Okay, honestly, coat game changer. Like now it feels like a kimono sleeve duster. Yeah. And I'm like, we're friends.
Yeah.
We're friends again. And what color would you pair this with now? Black, right?
Like in terms of clothing underneath?
Yeah.
I actually like it with the denim because then it kind of implies that it's denim.
Yeah.
I actually like it as is. I think, you know what I would do if I was you is at home, you have that metal necklace.
Yeah, the big round one.
I would do the metal necklace.
Wow.
Because you need a different texture.
That's how I brought this in.
Yeah.
And then Shefali helped me because I wouldn't have been able to do this. Not gonna lie. Okay, what was next, Shefali?
So you had the jacket. No, what did you have before that was a part of the schematic?
There was
that, and
then I kind of got stuck actually because
I had the jacket you had on.
I had that one on with.
Thanks, Amy.
So, did we ever say whether he messaged back? I can't remember if we completed that part of the story.
No, we didn't say.
Okay, he did, guys. After months of ghosting, this guy replied. I think I tried it on with this. No, I tried it on with the bamboo long blue jacket.
Oh.
So now do we try it on with this?
No. I would do the bamboo long blue jacket.
But I did that one.
With a different silk.
Okay.
Like I would do it with this high-low, with the white and the cream and the pink and
this. Okay. So this.
No.
This high-low.
High-low, it's got white. You'll see it. It's got like a light taupe. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh. And what's going with this?
Bamboo.
Really?
Oh, you're talking about the tie-dye bamboo. Oh, that changes things.
Okay, because I'm like, wow, that's bold.
That's so bold. Why don't you do the fabric that has the feather on it, the waterfall top?
Yes. So one
rock
that we are
star look, says Puppy Bunny. It is a rock star look, friends.
This is cute.
I know, like if I saw Priya in that outfit walking down the street, I wouldn't even know it's her. I'd be like, "Is that woman?"
It's that very fashionable. Yeah, pushing people out of my way because I'm old. You're too slow and too fast at the same time.
I'm wasting these good 20 years I have.
Honestly, that's like, I cannot believe that I am becoming that. Well, you know what part of it? Okay, here's what I think part of it is too, is that there was a time when I was Shefali's age where a lot of people were older than I am. And so I would show some restraint because I'm like, they're older than I am. I should, be respectful. But now I'm often the oldest person in the room. I'm like, oh, guys, no, move along, make it happen. So, what would you pair with this?
I thought it was the blue cardigan.
Are we still doing the blue cardigan?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Because then I think we should try it with the gray cardigan.
Yeah. That's why I chose it, so that we could say, no, cardigan bad.
Yes.
And then we could do the other one.
I think I will do the V to the front this time.
I like the V to the front, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a phenomenal digital print. So it's coming off as having more yellow in it, but it's actually a gray taupe.
And it looks more neon than it is, friends.
Yes, it is not a neon orange. It is a very warm orange, like almost like fire tones. Fire. But this does not really have green in it. And I feel like online it's showing more green and brown, and it's not, it's gray. Okay, there's V to the front. Already in love with this. Too cute. Let's see if we can try. So Amy, if you're still watching, we think this is your hack. We don't know whose it was, but using the belt loop to style your clothes. Is that a you hack?
Sure.
It's really good, right?
I love that.
How easy was that? I'll do it again.
Was that Amy or was that Christine Aklin?
Was it Christine Aklin? I don't know. I saw somebody do it. I did not figure this out on my own. So all I'm doing is, here's my belt loop. Here's a corner right here. We're pulling it and we're frozen. Oh no, we're not. Okay, there you go. And then what are we trying on with this? Navy.
Well, that was the rule.
That was the rule. That is my rule. This can go.
Not mine, though. I think, Christine, I'm not that good. LOL. You are that.
You are that.
In a different way. You're special, but in a different way.
Okay. Navy. Not this navy, right? No, plain navy.
No, I thought it was tie-dye.
This with tie-dye?
You had told me it was this one. That's why I picked a different piece.
Okay.
You had said the bamboo navy. Isn't that a bamboo navy? Yeah. So guess what? We're having fun tonight.
We're having fun tonight.
We're going crazy.
Yeah, you sound like Mira. So, ladies, I do have some news for you all.
Okay, are you going to say it in this outfit, Priya?
I am, and I'm even going to sit in front of the camera.
Oh my God.
This is a real announcement.
This is a big one, guys.
This is a big one.
Bigger than a man that ghosted me after 8 years. Ready?
Okay. So, as many of you know, our store has a natural water feature. It is a built-in water feature. This water feature has been in this store since before us. Several tenants before us. We just didn't know.
Almost a decade.
And it's been a decade. So we moved in and we lived with this water feature for quite some time. And I'm tired of living with the water feature.
You know, they say that Hamilton has the most
waterfalls. The ones in the old buildings. That's so true. So I have been on the lookout for an opportunity to move to a non-waterfall store. And my husband, who likes to have the real estate zoomies, found one. And we are moving. And guys, the store is beautiful. It is beautiful. First of all, it's twice the size, maybe more, of what we're in now. There's room for us to grow. It's going to be about the same rent because we were told by our landlord, who is unable to fix the roof, that he can't afford it, which is why our rent was going to go up anyways.
Yep.
It's 2,000 square feet on the main floor, which is 1/3 bigger there, and then 2,000 square feet of usable space in the basement. Alex will have an office. Really, it's just so nice. We have a little kitchenette.
I might even have a studio.
There might be a studio. It's got pot lights. It looks like the fanciest, most pristine clothing. Like it just does not look rough around the edges at all. Not even in a charming way. Like it looks clean.
You know what? It's the next stage for our brand.
Yeah.
It's not in Dundas.
It is not in Dundas.
It is actually still right here in downtown Hamilton.
Yep. It's about a 5-minute walk away from where we are now. Those of you who are familiar with Hamilton will know, downtown Hamilton, know that we have a little restaurant strip called King William. And King William is where you get all the fancy restaurants. And we are going to be the only store in the midst of all the fancy restaurants. So, guys, it's really, 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 really nice. And I love this store. Like, it has felt like home for a long time. And probably, if it weren't for the leak, I probably would have stayed. But this leak has just been so pervasive. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Consistent?
Yeah. No, it's been pervasive because we've also lost inventory.
We've lost inventory, and apparently they don't know what to do about it. So, yeah, we're moving right around the corner. Bigger space, better space.
And better food recommendations.
Restaurants, all the best restaurants, literally right next to us. Parking lot directly across the street.
Coffee shop right beside it. Even though we miss you, Ola's.
Yeah, like it's really nice. It is such a step up for us, and we were unbelievably lucky to get it.
Oh my God, great idea, Amy. So there's lots of comments. Christine says, happy, so exciting, so happy for you. Margaret says, congratulations. People are asking when and where.
We get possession. So there's still a couple of hoops that need to be jumped through, but they should be no-brainers. We're going to get an inspection just because any building, it's an old building. I just want to make sure I'm signing a 10-year lease. I just want to make sure there's no surprises. So there's that. If we find out something horrible during that inspection, it won't happen. But I'm not expecting that we will find anything horrible. We've kind of done our due diligence as well. So the plan is to take possession March 1st. And then we have just a few very minor renovations that need to happen, really minor. And then we're hoping that we'll be moved in by April 1st.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting, guys. We're all so excited because, here we really have had to contend with a lot. Like, for those of you who visited us recently, it's like a sauna in here. It's painful. Yeah. And they're working, and they're always working on it. It's not to say that we have bad landlords. They're always working on it, but there's always something going wrong. So yeah, we're really excited. Oh, it has air conditioning. Ladies, you know how we're like, it's so hot in here in the summer, and you're like, I just don't even want to change my clothes. I'm so sweaty. We have air conditioning.
Wow. Bougie.
So bougie.
Moving up. And Sabina says, awesome. We're about. Margot says, oh. Lori says, congratulations. Allison sends a bunch of hearts. Jackie says, great news. Margot says, that's perfect. Amy says, okay, sorry, not sorry. Special opening where all of us can come down for a party.
Yes.
I said, great idea.
Great idea.
And Allison said, so excited for you. Jane said, yeah. And no space, congratulations.
Yeah. Honestly, when I found out that it was actually going to happen, because I heard that there were contenders for the space. And I'm like, if it's a big business or somebody who's backed with a lot of money, they're going to get it. And then Shefali was with me when we found out that it was actually like there was a hope in hell. Like
she had chosen us.
The
landlord had chosen.
So the landlord apparently had watched our lives and had done some background checks on us and wanted to work with us. And I found that out, and I just started like, because I didn't even want to hope. Guys, it's too beautiful. We are so looking forward to being able to entertain you in that space where you can feel comfortable, and it won't be too hot and it won't be too cold, and there's enough light and things aren't all crammed together. And we'll have twice as much showroom space so that we can actually put some space between the silks. Yeah.
Jackie says April Fool's opening, which I didn't even think about, but that's so true. Amy says, woohoo, air conditioning. As Sabina said, springtime, so wonderful. Varden says, congratulations. Puppy Bunny says, so happy for you. Sounds perfect. Jane says, love that there is a parking lot. There's a parking lot directly across from us.
Directly.
And Jane says, and Amy says, oh, happy tears for you guys.
Yeah,
and Lorena joined. Hey, Lorena.
Hey, Lorena. So yeah, this is really big news. And we've been kind of keeping it under our hat for the last 2 weeks, just, making sure things fell into place, but it looks like they have. So we're very excited to tell you that we're moving to a new, beautiful location where we hope to be able to serve you in greater comfort. We actually think there's going to be a seating room in the change room area.
Oh, we're putting out all the stuff.
Yeah. So there's an office that we're going to break into the wall of so that, what was an office will now be part of the store, and it's a big office. So we're thinking 4 change rooms and then one of those mirrors, the 3-way mirrors that everybody always wants that we don't have. And maybe like a little couch so that you can actually enjoy your time in that back area. Guys, it's a dream come true.
Margaret says, congratulations. Marilyn says, congratulations on your new premises. I'm so happy for you. Deborah says, congratulations. How exciting. Jackie says, wow, this is great. Congrats. Michelle says, how wonderful, awesome news.
Yeah, it's a real step up. And, we have Shefali back now, and you're going to see us amping up things now because we actually have the team, and the team is an unbelievable team, including our, it was nice. I'm going to get changed.
Watching the live this morning,
the girls in India, right?
It's so sweet. They had the same, I literally wanted to comment, but I realized I would have been commenting after.
Yeah.
It was so funny that Anshul, when she's tired, also starts making songs the same way that I do when I'm tired. And Priya will always say to me, I know when you're tired because you just start singing randomly.
Yep. Yeah. So what I really liked was the relationship she has with her team. Like, it's very much like our relationship. She's not like, rah, 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 do this. It's like, oh, yeah, you do this. It's all fun and games, which is how it should be, right? We're working.
To close,
and then did you see what Rajni was wearing? What a stylish outfit. And I'm like, that girl's in fashion.
Yeah, she had her
that girl's in fashion.
I think she had done her makeup, so she was kind of like, what?
Yeah, she looked really great. But it, like, even our team there, it has the energy that I wanted this to have. And there's also some other news. Do I tell them? No, I don't tell you guys that. But in any ways, there are some changes in the future, possibly, that you can come into the store and ask about individually for Mira, Shefali, and Rachel. Possibly. But it's really nice because one of the things that I always wanted to do with this store was, it's about selling clothes, but it is more about uplifting women and all the different ways that we can. And one of the ways is having that team in India that work together and have such great camaraderie and are in charge of their own destiny as women. Love that. And then it's helping you guys feel confident in your clothing, giving you guys time to not worry about how you're going to be perceived, but just go out there and, be your voice. Just do what you got to do, and have the confidence and the comfort to do that. And also for our team here in Canada to see what we can do with the business to uplift them the way, Shefali went to MBA school, and the way we've been holding jobs for Mira and Shefali so that they can get their educations and come back. And we're doing some things right now for Rachel as well, because that's all stuff that we can do because of you, because I'm not doing it. Like, I'm just saying, thank goodness you guys are doing what you're doing so I can just go like this. Help everybody out. And that's what Sorry Not Sorry is doing, is uplifting, hopefully, all the women that we come in touch with in different ways.
Yeah.
So that's been there's been some exciting movement there too. And this new place we're getting, owned by a woman, which will be the first time we have a female landlord. That's going to be nice. Yeah.
That was such a mirror move I just made. Allison said, so happy for you. Thank you, Allison. I hope to see it in person. Yes, we hope you come visit in person. We came to you, Allison. You got to come to us. And Jane said, that's fabulous. I just made a purchase and want to pay via e-transfer. What do I use now?
Shop at sorrynotsorry.com.
Yes.
No dots or anything.
And you can find it on our website. It's the email directly on our website. Sabina asks, and she suggests maybe we should do a chai cafe or some kind of cafe in store.
We could do something.
But we could definitely have like a machine.
We could definitely have chai. Like now we'll actually have a counter. I think there's even a dishwasher.
I was going to say, we can have a kitchen space where like, if you guys, like, it's not just water we'd be providing with, we can provide you with.
We can actually provide you with beverages.
Like a glass of champagne.
I don't know if it'll be champagne. It might be chai. Like we could do little chai.
Like a chilled chai.
Imagine how nice that would be to be able to offer chai in the little chai cups.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm very excited.
That's you guys drinking chai in 5 months at our store.
Yes. One of us will become the chai walla.
Not it.
Okay. So yeah, that's some really exciting news that we have been keeping under our hat. It is not far from where we are now. Even if you forget that we're over there, it's like a hop, skip, and a jump, literally a block. Maybe 2.
You might be probably grabbing lunch in that area first before coming to us. And then you might go, oh, wait, they're here.
Yeah, we're really hoping that a different crowd, because up here on this side of the street, there's a lot of vintagey stores. I'm just going to be trying things on now. What time is it?
You've given up on the challenge?
I have, yes. Because now we're talking about too many things. My brain will not hold all that. So this...
I thought you could wear it the other way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So... yeah, what we're thinking is like at this end of the street, there's a lot of vintage stores and secondhand stores, and not a lot of people. Like I personally am not a person who would wander down to this end of the street unless I had a destination in mind. Because there aren't a lot of stores in this, because there's beautiful vintage stores, but those clothes don't really fit me. And then there's some lovely like secondhand clothing stores, but I have so many. Like I'm looking at this point in my life for things that bring me joy. Like it can't just be a top. It's got to be the top, like the one that I want to stare at because it makes me so happy. And that can happen in a secondhand store, but yeah, I feel like having this right next to the restaurants is very natural, even for me as a consumer. I'd be like, yes, eating is something I will definitely find my way to do. And fancy clothes right beside. I'll do that. Yeah,
that works. That works.
That works. Yeah.
And Jackie says, have a sorry not sorry brand chai, which is funny because we used to have.
We did, and I could probably get it again because there was a chai that was made specifically for us by Lake and Oak. That's the name of their brand, right? Lake and Oak. And then there was another business on the street who is known for being just persnickety. And he's like, you don't have the license that costs $300 a month to sell anything that's edible. And I'm like, friend, it's a thing of tea. Nobody's eating it here. Yeah, well, I pay that $300 a month, and so I'm going to report you. We're like, okay, we'll stop selling tea. And that was the end of that. Well, no, we could offer the tea for free.
Yeah, we could just offer the tea, and then we can direct them to Lake and Oak.
Yeah, we could do that.
To purchase it.
Yeah, we could.
And Amy says there's a lingerie shop here that does VIP shopping nights where they have champagne, music, and community events. And actually,
and we'll have the space.
That's the thing is that, you know, we really wanted to do stuff like that again. But we just, haven't had the space or the time or even the people, because usually I was the one putting those together with Priya.
Yeah. No, it's been very hard. And then the economy shifting over and over again hasn't helped us either. Like we had additional people. You remember we had Sarah and Irene, and we've had to let them go just because we weren't confident that we could offer them the hours that they needed. So I'm assuming as the economy picks up again, as things shift a little bit in the States, as people kind of change their buying patterns now in Canada and, you know, they start looking for more Canadian brands, I think we're just mid-shift.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, that's the good thing about being a small business. You can shift really quickly. So this is cute. You would never even know that it had other colors on it.
No, if you wanted to hide.
Yeah.
If you were ashamed of your colors.
Well, or if you had one piece and you needed to get a lot of use out of it.
Yeah.
Right. So like you're on the plane, you wear it with your sweater like this, you get off the plane, you put on your bright pink bathing suit, and then you wear this side to the front, and it's party all the time.
All time. At all times. Allison says, that's beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, the kind of changes that are happening.
They're happening really fast, guys. And then I was telling my husband, like, so this is all happening because he gets the real estate Zoomies, and as overwhelming as it can be, also good tends to come of it. So that's all going on. And then Shefali's birthday happens, which is great. And then there's Christmas coming. And then I made the mistake of telling the handyman who comes to our house every once in a while, like, do you think there's any way we could get lights on this landing? And every other person I had asked said, no, not a chance. He goes, oh, yeah, it's doable. So I said, oh, good. And so I said, I'll just get the lights. So I bought the lights and I figured he'd come around after Christmas sometime.
Luke is not like,
no. So I said, okay, so I got the lights, whenever you're ready. He goes, I'll be there tomorrow. So luckily I was out with Shafali because my husband said the entire house was a disaster. He had to go in through the attic and there was insulation, pink insulation, literally everywhere. And so he's still working on that. So in the midst of all the chaos of trying to get these documents signed and get things out to people and find everybody the proof that they need and communicate with everybody, all the changes. And then in the meantime, there's like hammering going on and ceiling dust falling. That's fun. That's how we have fun.
And then apparently, so when Go came to dinner for my birthday, he said he just gave Luke the vacuum cleaner.
He said, Priya's coming home soon. You're going to need this.
And he literally said, I just handed it to him.
And I left. Yeah. And even we saw Luke last night. He was there. It was funny because Mira and Shafali were over and we were all just talking about all the exciting things that are happening, including this move. And so Mira starts singing that song, Sweet Caroline. And she's like, your hand touching my hand. How does it go?
Touching you.
So we're just kind of singing this because she started saying it. And then because we caught on, we all started singing that part. And then Luke, who's in the stairwell, like we can't even see him. He suddenly goes, Caroline. We all go, boom, boom. And then there's silence because nobody knows.
And then he goes, you guys know the rest, huh?
Yeah. So funny. Okay,
he says, that's all you know, right?
That's all we know. This is pretty.
Yeah, I thought that was a cute set you would try.
I'd love to try this. Are they supposed to be a set? No. Wow, they're so close.
I thought it would work out.
And you're always right.
Corey said, I just joined. The store is moving.
The store is moving. So you'll know where it is, Corey. Those of you who are in Hamilton will know.
Yeah.
So do you know where Relay Coffee is on King West? So is it right after Electric Cafe? Isn't that the one on the corner? No,
it's not right after, because remember Mezza Cafe is right beside, and then there's like the entranceway, and then it's and then it's our space, and then it's Relay Coffee.
So right now it's like a condominium sales center for 75 James Street North, but they are now moving out, and so the space is vacating. So you'll probably recognize it. It's beautiful. Lots of windows, south facing, which is going to be really nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. It's going to keep us on our toes, all of us.
And we're just getting to a point as a business where like we've really outgrown the space. When is this going to happen? It's going to be happening. Our opening date should be in April. Beginning of April.
So we get possession March 1st. We think it'll take about 2 weeks to do the renovations. Then we will get everything lined up, probably stay closed for about 2 or 3 days while we do the switchover, and then reopen. My goal is for reopening April 1st.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is,
I think it's better with the other side to the front
of this.
Yeah, let me see, actually. Yeah.
It has more orange, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what I had liked about it.
Yeah, it's been fun. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But fun. Can we share the Am I the Asshole story?
Yeah. But we just won't say who.
No. Okay. I don't know. We're going to definitely get differing opinions on this.
Yeah, I think
because this is definitely one of those posts you would see where it's, am I the asshole? So we are downtown and Shafali connects with a friend of hers who is also downtown, realizes that Shafali's in town. And somehow the two of them come up with an idea for Shafali's birthday that they should go out for lunch with me because I'm there too. So we're like, oh yeah, okay, well, you know what? We can get anywhere. You're the one who, has work and stuff. So pick wherever you want to go. And just tell us when to meet you there and we'll meet you there. So this person sends some suggestions and Shafali says, where do you want to go? And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter to me. Whatever is suitable for the two of you is suitable for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Shafali gets a message saying along the lines of, as long as we all know, I'm not really paying for your lunch or Priya's.
He was like, oh, I think it was more that it was like, oh, I'm just working out the logistics here.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just paying for mine and this other person's. And, Priya's got you, or you got Priya and them.
Yeah.
And
yeah, which was honestly was very communicative. That was good communication. But it did bump up against my little value system of when you have the opportunity to show kindness, then just do it. Right? Like it's a little thing. It's not like we were going to go to a 5-star restaurant, Michelin starred, and my meal was going to cost $200. It was lunch at a restaurant of their choice. And if I know somebody else is paying the bill, I'm going to get a salad and a glass of water. Like, I'm not a jerk. So it just felt really kind of, and this is on me because I brought my perception to it, but it gave me the ick. Isn't that the expression?
Yeah.
Giving me the ick?
Yeah.
It gave me the ick. And I'm like, hey, Shefali, if you want to go out with this person, you go ahead. I will entertain myself in Toronto. But I kind of have the ick right now. So I don't know if I really want to join. So am I the asshole for thinking that it could have been communicated or done in a classier way? This is a person with a full-time job, not a struggling student.
And also, okay, this is what I will say is like, I've known this person for a really long time. And, I do think that in that situation, when Priya said she didn't want to go and she was just going to be somewhere else, I am not the kind of person who lets people be on their own. If we're going somewhere together, and maybe this is my value system, like, I'm not going to just be like, well, okay, fine, you do that and I'll do this. Like, I'm like, no, Priya, we're here together. Like,
but I would have been okay with it because, I mean, he is your friend.
But I'm not okay with that. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's like going to the club with your girls and then one of your friends says, I've met a boy, I'm going to go. And we all let her go home. That is not something that you do. That's not appropriate.
Yeah. So yeah, anyways, it was really awkward because I have my own baggage and trauma around.
And also this person is a young person.
Yeah.
And Priya is not a young person.
No.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of my time surrounded by probably young women, I would say. And young women do tend to have their finger on the pulse of a social situation. Like they get all the elements, all the subtext. And I fear that this young man didn't get all the subtext. Anyways, I definitely apologized because I recognize I don't know him as well.
I also had to apologize.
I don't know him as well. And this is a person who Shefali's had a relationship with for a long time. And she does understand
almost a decade, yeah.
Yeah, she understands him. And coming from my very limited knowledge of him, it did feel a little off-putting. But then I also recognize I'm bringing my old world way of thinking into it. And that is not necessarily, like my husband and I were talking about it, and he goes, you remember when we were younger and like older people we knew would say, well, that's not acceptable. And we go, yeah, they're just old. He goes, we're old. We have these rules that, and guys, this was not about the cost of the lunch.
And which is funny, they both said that to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I don't know what to do.
So when she came out with the sweetest way of looking at it, which was both of these people care about me so much that they're willing to fight over me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was sweet.
Marilyn said, I agree with you, Priya. Amy says, as an awkward human, I appreciate that he wanted to tackle it directly, but I cringe. Oh, this guy is not afraid of direct communication, let me tell you. And that's one of the things I love about him. And, I also had to say that, Priya and I have spent a whirlwind, almost a friendship romance together with shopping and clothes. And that did also delude me to, really take her perception very personally. And it made me undermine my friend's perception. So I apologize for that. I thought that was very, very fair of him to say that our relationship is not conditional. But I also think that, these are very two strong personalities coming together. And I think there was definitely a way that either party could have handled things, including myself.
Yeah. So I realized what I should have said is something that my eldest daughter says all the time. Whenever something like this happens, she goes, you hate to hear it. And then that's it. That's all. See it. Yeah, hate to see it. And then she just leaves it at that. And I should have absolutely done the same thing. we're paying for our own lunch. You hate to see it. And then just moved along because not my monkey, not my circus. But then Mira was talking about, like, 'cause of course, this has been the topic of all conversations ever since that moment. And Mira's like, Mom, I think we all know that you have very strong mama bear, like,
yeah. And I think that's very true. Yeah.
That, if I think somebody is not treating my girls properly, I will be like, that's not okay. That is not okay. They are not showing the respect that you deserve, that you have done this, this, and this. And where's that respect back? And that's a mama bear thing because they got this. They don't need me to super manage the whole thing. They got it. It's fine. They're not kids. But yeah, it was a real learning experience, a reminder. But yeah, I should get that tattooed on me somewhere so I don't forget to say it. You hate to see it.
Don't forget journey underneath.
Journey. You hate to see it. They're on a journey.
Yeah.
What a journey. You hate to see it.
Yeah. What a journey. You hate to see it. That's actually pretty good. And Margot had said orange and blue for the orange and blue look, which I think was nice. The cardigan and side slit top look that was kind of orangey with the blue.
Yes.
I think that was what she was talking about.
Mm-hmm. I love this, by the way. It was missing off of our website. We had to put it back on. So
isn't it so pretty?
It's so pretty. So browns, reds, very pale blues, teals, and sky blues.
Oh, excuse me. And Sabina says maybe he didn't want to feel pressure for picking up the bill. No, I think that this person is very used to the kind of young, and I also said this as well. Like, I think that also there is a lack of experience because I forget how often I hang out with older adults in my life. Like, I hang out with Priya and Goat all the time. I'm very used to the kind of decorum that they have because I too do also carry this sense of decorum with my personal friends as well. This particular friend, as much as I love him, is also a person of a certain character. And it can be very hard to have that ease with him because, he's got a very confident personality. And that's okay. I mean, I love him for who he is and he loves me for who I am. And we know that we're very different people. But I think that this was also just a lack of experience of like not knowing what to do when there is an older adult in the situation.
Well, and probably not knowing me very well.
Yeah. And he also said that as well. He actually fully recognized that as well.
Like his experience of, he met my husband over the phone and he called him uncle. And that was just too funny. That made the rounds.
I did tell him to call him uncle.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
Because like, it's such a term of respect, but Goat and I don't see ourselves as that we have entered the auntie-uncle stage yet. We're still
fully in the auntie-uncle stage.
See myself as an auntie.
Because your direct children haven't had kids. But
yes, once my kids have kids, I'll feel like an auntie for sure. Yeah. So anyways, So I think there was a lot that went wrong there. And the good news is we had excellent communication around the whole thing, right? Because
on all fronts,
because things like that are going to happen, right? It's going to happen. This was a poncho, and I'm wearing it as a top with a red sweater. I think it looks really cute. You would never know that it was a poncho.
No, I think it's adorable.
Yeah.
Super sweet. How would it look with the short side to the front?
Let's try it. I might have to do the back, though, because I feel like I don't want that in the front.
I actually wanted that in the front. I think it'd be cool. Yeah. So add a bit of whimsy.
It was, I agree with you, Sabina, that it is an awkward situation of who's going to pick up the bill. And I think it was the lack of conversation about it. It was kind of like, I'm not doing that.
And I had also said something to him that he took very personally that made it seem like, because Priya had said this to me and it was a bit haughty, like, let's be honest, about like, this and this person that I know gave you advice. So this and this and that. And he took it as a very transactional thing that I had said. Because I said exactly what you said directly to him, even though what you had said was.
But you also said it.
Yeah, and I agreed with you. So I admit that, it was very haughty of me and he took that very personally. I also
go with the haughty narrative, but I don't think that is the only narrative for that.
And I don't think I don't even think that I would have gotten that upset if it was a woman's, like, if a woman had heard that from another person. I don't think that we would have had such an overt reaction. I think that they would have just said like, I really understand that, but I just don't feel comfortable and this and this and that. Like, and I felt like,
and that's what I mean. There would have been better communication Yeah. So I was expecting when I got home and I told my husband, I'm like, hey, this happened. I was probably in the wrong. Like, I literally said it like that. I'm like, these are the things that I did incorrectly in that situation.
Yeah.
And that was not okay. And he said, I would have expected more of him.
Yeah, I would have too. But I don't know if it's more of a personal thing or a communication thing. Who knows?
I think it's a lack of trust. I think, you go out into the world and you meet people and you have an opportunity to put yourself out, right? Put yourself at a disadvantage. And you have to make that choice. Am I going to risk vulnerability in this moment? Whether it's by possibly getting caught with the bill or, maybe having a conversation that cuts a little deeper than you thought it would. Any interaction opens you up to vulnerability. And if you're afraid of that vulnerability of how things may unfold, then yeah, you're going to want to control it as much as possible. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be, in order for my comfort, I need this delineated. Mm-hmm. Which goes against kind of how I feel, which is things will sort themselves out because everybody's coming from a place of kindness. But if you don't trust that everybody is coming from a place of kindness, then you have already been taught to set up barriers, right? To make sure that you will not be vulnerable in any situation.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, Margaret makes a good point. She says, unless they say they're going to buy you lunch, I personally would assume I am footing the bill for my own food, as do I.
So, even on your birthday, though?
This is the thing, is that with young people, that's usually not the case. Like, I know when my friends invite me out to their birthday dinners, I'm probably going to pitch into covering their bill or pay their bill or make an arrangement with friends where, like, my friends and I will pay the birthday person's bill. I don't expect that of everyone, but I am a person who does that. Yeah. So, but you know what? That says a lot about my life.
Yeah.
And the relationships I have, right? So
I think it was the doubling down that bothered me too. So the later communication was, well, I was going to get you a gift, Shefali, but this meal wasn't going to be it. And I'm thinking, well, how expensive was this gift going to be that paying for 2 people at lunch at a restaurant of your choice is not the equivalent of that gift? I think that yeah, I hear it, guys. I hear it. The judgment, I'm hearing it. It's not okay. I see it.
No, I just think that I agree with everything you're saying as much as I agree with everything he's saying.
Yes, two things can be true
at the same time.
Yeah.
And then there's me in the middle going, but I just wanted you guys to meet. I thought it'd be so much fun. We had lunch. I just thought it was.
Yeah. And I said that, and I did say this to Shefali at the time as well, that I have experienced this situation so many times in my life and have given people the benefit of the doubt. And ultimately, that red flag has, in my experience, proven to be something that I should have paid attention to. But that's my experience in my life, based on the values that I have and that the people who were in those situations with me had. Like we had like a common understanding, which I don't have with people of your generation, right? And how you guys do things.
That's fair. Yeah. I think it was a bit of a generational thing. I also personally think that, like, tone in conversation is very particular, but I also understand that he probably got upset because I was being very quick with my tone because we were really on the go.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's directly him or anything. I think that just tone of communication was a key piece of this.
Yeah.
Look at me being very HR business about it. But,
yeah. There was a lot of room for disaster. It was fraught. It was truly fraught. And I think for me, part of what really set me off was the disappointed look on Shefali's face that she probably doesn't even know that she had.
I know I can't help it. I know what I do. I just stay completely silent.
Yeah.
And then I go, yeah, let's just do whatever.
Yeah. And I saw that and I thought, that's not okay. Right. And not my place, not my monkey, not my circus. Yeah. Nope. And that is a lesson I've had to learn as a mom as well. And so what I try to do now is I say it once calmly, which I did not do, but hopefully will do in the future. Say it calmly once that I have a concern. And then once I've done that, my job is done. And then my job is to just happily roll along and not hold an opinion.
Because it's not your circus.
It's not my circus.
And it's definitely not the monkey. that you would have favored.
No. And it really doesn't matter to me. And Shefali's not a child. I really love this hack. This is going to be
cute.
Like I'm going to have to wear jeans with all my waterfall tops.
Yeah. Ever feel like you're losing your waterfall to your jeans? Add them to a leash.
That's right there. So what are the ladies saying? It is a fraught issue. And I do think, generally speaking, I was in the wrong. I accept that.
So Jackie had said the navy cardigan worked well with the fab dress. And she's also said, so Sabina said, I definitely don't see Priya as an auntie, LOL. Jackie says, could have said Dutch treat, right?
Yeah, like I really feel like there could have been ways to do that without making it sound like, don't be trying to take advantage of me, which is how it came off, which was my interpretation of it.
But also, I know, like, I don't disagree with you, because knowing this person, they sometimes can come across that way.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, honey, I am the least likely to take advantage of you. And based on what you know about me, I'm surprised that you would think that you would even think, when you know the things that I do for the people around me, happily, without any strings attached. And you know that firsthand. And yet your first thought is, well, she's not going to be taking advantage of me this time. I'm like, oh, friend, dear friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's just a young person's ego. Like there's no way around it. Like when you're younger and you feel a certain sense of your proprietorship as a young person, there is a bit of that ego that you don't even consider that you have.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that really irritated me, and again, it's a young thing, and actually there are a lot of people who still do it, but I've really come to see the doubling down. I have less patience than I've ever had for a person who doubles down on something that, rather than taking a step back and saying, oh, wait, there are two narratives here. Like there is a possibility that what I'm trying to say and what they're trying to say actually does mesh together. And I just need to figure out what that is, instead of I said what I said, which is doubling down.
Yeah.
Right. And the doubling down, I'm like, that is such a red flag, friend. But then I also said, even if I take my husband at his absolute worst moment, and that was the only snapshot I have of him, I'd be like, walking red flag, friend, because you really do need to see that whole picture of who they are, not just this quick snapshot. And that was on me to be so judgmental based on that snapshot. I got to work on that, guys. I have some work to do.
It's okay. And I even said this to him and his friend, like, I even said, like, we're all hypocrites to our own morals. Like, we all are judgmental when we say we're not judgmental, and we all make quick, fast opinions when we say we don't do that. Like, we all do those things, even if we don't mean to. It's okay. Like, that's not a big deal. I just want to make sure that, we're good, because I don't want to lose a friendship that I've had for so long, especially when there's been a lot of loyalty and support.
Yeah.
But I think it's also important to communicate certain things. And, it's not my responsibility to teach him or you or anybody a lesson. I said certain things. If he has certain opinions, he wonders why, my life is a certain way, and there's a reason it is, right? And, he always...
Well, I feel it's because you show up with integrity.
I don't ask for anything.
And you don't come at things with an ego.
I think you said it perfectly. Like, some people get very nervous about kind of the power of vulnerability, but I don't actually care about being vulnerable. I don't care the risk that it is to me of being vulnerable and showing people who I am, because what do I really have to lose from any of these people? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's better if I'm honest and I say how I feel, because I know and I trust that the people around me who I have in my life right now in this moment, they will still be there for me, even at my most vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I have built that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this person has that same sense of community.
No. And you're right. And it really does come down to and that was the other thing that I said to Shefali is every single relationship in your life is going to demand work of some sort. And so you can't assume any relationship is just going to be like, this is great, we clicked and everything's fine. You have to assume that there's going to be work. So then the next question is what you get back from this relationship worth the work?
Yeah.
And if it is, then you're going to put in the work. You're going to be like, yeah, that felt uncomfortable, and I will also sort it out because this relationship means something to you. Whereas if it doesn't, and it just keeps happening, you'll be like, I'm doing an awful lot of work and getting nothing in return.
Mm-hmm.
And even in terms of, like, not stuff, but like safety or compassion or
Equal give and take in a relationship is not just a tangible thing.
No, it's not tangible. It's an emotional thing. Because, you can't even measure everybody on, stuff. Not everybody has access to stuff. Everybody has access to what they have access to. And you said that, like, when we were talking about this, that, you're not in a position to give the same things that other people are in a position to give, but you give what you can when you can.
Yeah, I give what I have.
Yeah, which is
freely. Yeah,
to me, like, that's a value that I really hold dear, is that, and I know it's naive. I know I live in a very naive world, but in my world, I like to think we do and give what we can, because we are all just people trying to figure it out. And so how do I lose by sharing and giving?
Yeah.
Like, it's my privilege that I actually have something that I can share that will help someone or make someone's day brighter. That's like a blessing to me, that I have that opportunity to give. Like, I'm so lucky. It's not the person who's lucky. I'm lucky that I have that chance. And I really feel that in the way that I do things. And I've just butted heads with people who don't feel that way, who are very untrusting.
But I also think that comes, and I'm not disagreeing with anything you said. I completely agree with everything you said. I think that the reason people butt heads with that is because they've never had the opportunity or ever learned or had people in their life that showed them that.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that, this person does not have that kind of true compassion around them, or is even aware of what that looks like realistically.
Yeah.
They have it in certain ways, but to, like, you are a person of a true, like, a very strong moral character. And he is also a person of a strong character. And even if you guys are saying the exact same thing, you're going to fight about it. Do you know what I mean? And I do think that it was funny when I talked to you and then I talked to him. It was like you guys were saying the same things to me about how you thought about the other person and then how that affected my decision. And I just went, oh gosh.
Yeah,
Golly.
But you know what? As the older person in this situation, I try to remember that care needs to flow downwards. I have had the opportunity of years of experience. So I think I should have to do better.
That's very good of you, Priya.
It's true. What am I going to do? Like,
most older adults don't feel that way. They're like, well, I am the older person. You have to respect me.
No. Wouldn't that be lovely? Let me know if that works for anyone. Doesn't work, guys.
No.
But I do think that I have the opportunity as the older person to be wiser, to be more mindful, to be more compassionate. Because I'm at a stage in my life where I'm not in survival mode, right? Yeah. But that definitely triggered me. And Shefali knows, I've told her about all the times where I have been open and giving and trusting and kind, only to have it, like, slapped back in my face
same.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah. So for me, that is just such a red flag. Yeah. What time is it?
It's 9:51. And Allison says, it feels like a generational thing, because my husband and I watch our daughters have experiences that we honestly don't even know how to navigate.
Yeah. And, because I think, here's the other thing. I know that Shefali refers to me as someone who's like her mom, and somebody who, has been a mentor, and somebody who's just, like, really filled a gap that she had in her life because of, where she came from. And I know that you ladies have also done that for her.
Yes, you have.
And this person knows that I have filled that gap for her, so that I essentially am kind of like a mom. So would he say that to her mom?
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is he a guy who would say that to a mom? And I don't know, but then I'm not a mom here. But part of the problem is I am on the lookout for red flags, because I don't want my girls hurt. And that is not my job, friends. They are adults now.
I don't think you can stop being Mama Bear. I think that's just who you are.
Yeah, it is. I can shut my mouth. I really need to learn to say, you hate to see it. Shake my head.
You can also really tell when a guy doesn't have female sisters.
Like, honestly. And then I even said to Shefali, I'm like, hey, look, I could be really chill let's go out for lunch. I am going to act like the happiest, friendliest person ever. Let's just go have this lunch. And she's like, you won't be able to do it. I'm like, I can do it. I can be so fake. Nobody will know. She goes, so you're asking me to let you be fake, you. And I was like, I can do it. She's like, no, we're not doing that.
I literally was like, Priya, it is so obvious when you're fake. You're going to be trying so hard. We're all going to be looking at each other and we're just going to be sitting there and then we're going to and she's like, but we won't talk about it at all. And I was like, it will 100 million% come up.
Okay.
We won't be able to.
If that had happened, I would have, first of all, directed the conversation to the weather, which, is always changing.
God have mercy on us all.
Or if I felt like it was going in a place where I was going to open my mouth, that's why they invented bread. Right?
Oh my God, I love this.
Look at this bread. So much bread. Yeah, it's been one of my biggest problems is that when I have a strong feeling, it does show.
Yeah,
it does show.
You know what? Me too. Like I'm also very particular about who I spend my time with because when I have a strong opinion, it really shows. And I also feel like it's very hard when not that I feel like I overgive sometimes, but if somebody's asking me a question, I'm going to be very, very true to my.
Yeah, I'm going to give an honest opinion. Yeah,
how I feel about a certain question, right? But I have also had to learn to, with time, be very. It's not. The word isn't necessarily strategic. Do you know what it is? Like it's like you have to, but you
pick your battles.
You have to pick your battles, and there is strategy involved. Where you basically, you get the not hack without
doing anything. Honestly, this is a game changer right here.
Yeah.
Bottom corner, front loop. What are the ladies saying?
Can honestly say, Priya, you are one of the kindest and most general people I have ever met, and that's Amy. Allison says, "Love that you are a protector." Band, that's okay. and Sabina says, yeah, it's okay to look out for young ladies, Priya. And Allison says, I love that you are protectant. That is okay. It comes from a place of love. Jane says, I'm the same. I have a very hard time filtering my mouth. Me too.
Especially like that one really, there's a lots where I don't get triggered and I stop and think, but that one really got me. So here's my story that I will briefly share, which is the first time this happened to me. And I was bewildered. So I was pregnant with Nisha and I was like 7 months pregnant and my sister had already had a child. And I went over to my parents' house for dinner and Goat was out of town. And my mom had made a lot of Indian food that was really like dal based, which is like
curry,
like curries, lentils. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm eating green slimy food today. This part of me here is not going to let that happen. So I say, hey guys, I can't eat this. I think I'm going to go out. And so my sister and her husband say, why don't we go out to Olive Garden? I'm like, that's awesome. Mom, are you okay with that? It's like, yeah, it's no big deal. I'll pack this up. You guys can take it. I'm like, I'm going to Olive Garden. That is exactly what I wanted. So we get to Olive Garden and we order our food. And she has, at that point, about a 14-month-old boy. So during the meal, they are eating. And I say, oh, you know what? Let me take care of him so you guys can finally have a meal in peace. So for the next half hour, I'm literally running around the restaurant, playing games with this 14-month-old so that they can have a nice meal. And then eventually when they're done eating, I come back to the table. My food is all cold. And I say, okay, I'm going to eat now. And I finish eating. And then the bill comes. And my brother-in-law says, your portion is $20. And I'm like, seriously? And so I was bewildered.
But that's your brother-in-law.
And this was like
that.
And it was only $20. This is what my husband says all the time. Is that really where you're gonna draw the line in the sand on this $20 that you are going to stake this entire relationship on this $20?
Really?
That's so freaking important to you that you can't even see that what was supposed to be Priya's going out meal was actually Priya babysitting your kid.
Like, I would have just said, Priya's here. She's pregnant. She's taking care of my kid. She ate her food last. Yeah, she wanted to come here, but she's helping out. That's $20.
It's $20. It was $20. And I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I just thought, that's not cool. That is not ever a person I want to be, ever.
But you know what I will say is that look at your life versus theirs.
Yes.
Look at my life versus these other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then they ask us, how did your life get like this? Why don't I have somebody in my life that does the things that people do for you for free as well? Because like this guy, like this person who I've known, like has seen me getting free stuff from people and has seen how you guys are supporting me and is like, Shefali, how do I find somebody like that? Tell me your secrets. I'm like, I literally don't know what you're talking about. Like, I live my life. I'm who I am. And these people like that.
Yeah. Well, you're authentic.
There's no secret to it.
No, and you show up the best you can every day. And that doesn't mean you're perfect because nobody is.
I'm really not.
No, and nobody is, but you're also not pretending that you are. Your ego isn't like, no, I am perfect, because that's doubling down. Just say, you know what? I tried my best, really screwed up. I have something to learn here. And then genuinely try to learn to do better. And if you need help, like in this case, like I said to you that other day in our meeting where we were talking about something and it was supposed to be your topic and I cut in because I was worried about, you know what I was worried about.
Yeah.
And you kind of looked at me and I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, okay, I saw what I did there. I literally do not want to do that again. Can we have a sign where you like touch your ear or something where I'd be like, right. And I zip it because I recognize I'm not perfect, but I'm going to need some help getting to a point where I can manage things better.
Yeah. And also the whole point of having the right people in your life. And right after she said this, I said to Priya, it's okay that you did that. I know that this is a learning lesson for you and for me. So it's okay if stuff like that happens. And I'm able to hold space as a person for you to learn actively in real time, because how the hell else are you going to learn?
Well, and what happened was while Shefali was at school, I took over a lot of the media. And so when we started talking about media, I felt like, oh yeah, I'm the person with those answers. But I'm not anymore. Shefali is the person with those answers. And it's really important that everybody shifts over to Shefali, but I still stepped in where I shouldn't have. Because I am not perfect. Because no one's perfect.
I didn't know you were an alien of perfect nature.
I am not. But I think if you think you are perfect, isn't that ego?
Well, yeah.
Right? Like, who the heck is perfect? Literally nobody. Absolutely. Like, when I hear somebody who thinks that they're like flawless or behaves like they're flawless, I'm like, so you're the one person in the universe who doesn't have a fault.
And I don't think this person thinks that they're flawless, but I do think that, you know, a lot of people really can convince themselves that they're better than they are by telling themselves, yes, I do these things, but I also do these other things. Like he's sacrificial to some people in his life because he has to be, but he's not when it comes to valuing himself, because that's where he needs to draw the line for himself. As are a lot of men who are in the same situation as he is in life. And so, you know, it's okay. I just want to have a person who cares about me in my life. And I love this cardigan.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And I think that was fundamentally what's important to me, because it is not about me. And like, this was more about him feeling like he's going against something he holds dearly to his own personal self-value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it bummed me out. I couldn't hang out with my friend and these two people I care about are like butting heads, but like,
I think you were bummed out before that, Shefali. You were bummed out as soon as he made that statement.
Because I forget that this is sometimes how this person is.
Yes, because I saw you looked deflated and you were a little hurt. And that was all it took for me to be like, no, that's not okay.
It's just kind of like, you know, we don't have to have this discussion. And I agree with you guys. Like, I don't think we need to have a discussion about money. Like, we can just talk about it openly. It doesn't have to be a secret thing because it's money. It's not a big deal. And he said that and you said that. So I think we're all on the same page, but I just think that how it was initially communicated could have been better. And that's okay, because sometimes we don't have practice learning how to communicate.
Well, and how it was received could have been more compassionate.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's on me, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sabina, you nailed it. She said we're perfectly imperfect.
Like the Wabi Sabi, and it comes full circle.
It does. And end of the live. Thanks, guys.
Right,
Bye.
just end it.
And then Sabina says your brother-in-law should be ashamed of himself. LOL. Seriously.
Okay, so let me tell you about my brother-in-law and my sister. So that was my first red flag. But I was like, that's okay. They have a young child. They probably didn't even consider it. Okay, cut to. I am pregnant with my first child. I outgrow all of my clothes. I have just graduated from school. My sister has been pregnant and had her baby. So she had a ton of maternity clothes in her closet. And this was,
oh my God, this story.
Yeah. So I had nothing, and I had just come out of school, paying off student loans, just married, living in an apartment, 700 square feet. And, or maybe we had moved by then, but we had just moved because my parents gave us a down payment so that we could have a house. Anyways, I said to my sister, hey, none of my clothes fit anymore. Like literally nothing. Would it be okay if I borrowed some of your maternity clothes? And you know what the answer was, friends? It was no, because I'm planning on getting pregnant. So friends, I was 7 months pregnant. Even if she were planning on getting pregnant,
it would have taken her at least 2
to 3 months before she would have needed maternity clothes. And I'm like, that's fine. It's fine. She was hopeful of getting pregnant, and then I got pregnant, and maybe that just didn't sit with her right.
That's not even like one dress.
No. So I'm like, that's okay. You know what? Whatever. You know what? She's my sister, right? So cut to, and this is what I mean, where all of these red flags happened, and I ignored one after the other and was compassionate.
Yeah.
And so
that necklace would be nice, the wooden heart one, just because it's blue and blue would be fun.
Yeah. So my brother-in-law, I have my baby, I have Misha, and we live in a very small house with an open backyard. We can't afford to pay for fences yet. And he gets her for like when she's born, or maybe her first birthday or something, he gets her one of those turtle sandboxes.
Cute.
So I'm like, oh my God, this is so nice. And so I'm talking to my sister. I'm like, yeah, we finally, we're getting a sandbox. Like, how exciting is that? And I'm like, you know what I have to do is I've got to go out to the, wherever they sell these stones, and I need to get some patio stones to put the sandbox on. And she goes, oh, we just redid our entire backyard. She was living in a $1 million house backing onto a ravine at that point. I said, oh my God, that's so great. Like, I need 4. And she goes, yeah, it's only $5 each.
Wow. I always get shocked whenever you tell that story.
And I'm like, okay, well, it's not her, it's her husband. She doesn't want, she said, well, I could have sold them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. So that's what they're worth. So I'm like, of course. Let me just give you $20. And this kind of thing happened over and over and over again until she finally sued me for $1 million, guys. Long story. We haven't talked ever since. Because there were so many red flags where I realized that despite the illusion or the gaslighting that she was there for me and cared, when you actually looked at these opportunities to show that our relationship had value,
she didn't take it.
She did not. And I was too naive and too trusting of the fact, well, this is my sister, and I have room for her to whatever. But whatever was going on, it wasn't about those slabs of concrete, and it wasn't about the maternity clothes, and it wasn't about the meal at Olive Garden. There must have been something else underlying all of that that made her think it was okay.
In my personal opinion, in that situation, I think it had less to do with what was okay and more to do with appeasement. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. But
that's awfully convenient.
Yeah.
You think that she couldn't just tell her husband, oh yeah, I got the $20?
Well, because of who this person is. Like, when you've been in situations where somebody will nitpick you for literally anything you do because it's not maybe the most supportive kind of marriage or relationship.
So an abusive relationship where the person goes into survival mode?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Most definitely. Your brother-in-law was out of line and your sister should have lent you a few pieces of clothing. How small-minded. And what I think? It's very small-minded thinking. And that's okay. Sometimes people don't have an opportunity to practice unlearning small-mindedness because they're kind of surrounded by it. So when you come in and you are totally big-minded, they perceive that as you taking advantage of what little they're seeing around themselves, when they actually don't realize that if they were open to things the way you were, they would be open to more. They would be open to whatever access, quote unquote, they felt like they wanted to have.
It's really crazy. Like, even another thing that happened to me, and again, I like literally have gone through these situations. And
Jane said, unbelievable. She must have been switched at birth.
Honestly. So anyways, so the same sort of thing happened with, okay, so we had these friends, and they were actually friends of a friend, but we knew them quite well. And they were really like people who did a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, and they'd help me out a little bit. A couple of times the husband had come and, help with stuff at my house. And once when he was there, they were both over, and he liked the drill that I had, like our drill. It was like, I don't even know. And he said, this is a really good drill. And he goes, mine is not nearly as good as this. And I said, oh, actually, I got it through my Visa points. Like, there were these things, they had you offers of what you could use your points for. And I needed a drill. So I got it using my points. But I said, but you know what? You are a person who really knows your drills. And I just need a drill that works. Why don't we swap? And apparently I made them so uncomfortable that I said that they couldn't be around me anymore.
Why?
I don't.
You were giving them a drill.
Don't know. I, to this day, do not know.
How is that uncomfortable? You were actually giving them a better drill.
I don't know. I don't know what narrative went through their head. Did they think I was lording it?
No, they probably thought you were, oh, well, you could just have my drill.
Yeah, like I was like it doesn't even matter to me. And I'm thinking, no, you guys are kind people who have helped me out. I know nothing about drills, and you know that this is a good drill. Why wouldn't I just give it to you? I need a drill once a year. Take the drill. Please take the drill.
Yeah.
And instead it was offensive. And I don't understand it. Like, these are the kinds of walls I have hit up again and again.
Me too, actually.
Which is why when I see that red flag now, it is not a tiny red flag. It's an alert. This could be the sign of something massive, which is why I overreacted.
But you know what? I understand, because like, you're at a point in your life where you're kind of tired of dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of the consequence of, with time, how relationships play out. We're young enough now that I can at least give him the benefit of the doubt, as you said, right?
Yes.
To say that you're learning and growing and that things take time.
And he's like a brother to you, right?
Yeah.
He's not just a friend. He's been there for you. He's a part of your childhood that's now you growing up together. And, sometimes siblings are not at the same place as you.
Sometimes they butt heads.
But also sometimes they grow at different rates.
Yeah.
Right? But that doesn't mean they're not a sibling.
No.
They still are.
Exactly.
And I have room for that. He is like a sibling to you. And that is something I should have realized. He's more than a friend. He's a sibling. And so I didn't act with an awareness of that. Have I left you speechless?
No.
I feel like I've left you speechless.
No, I'm just trying to think of what else I could have said. But everybody is commenting. What's it called? Sabina said, I am so sorry, Priya. Jane says, you took for so long. You take that for so long and then you stop taking it.
Yeah.
Amy had said, wow, ...
Yeah.
Jacqueline Webster said, sounds like your sister is related to my sister. Unbelievable. Must have been switched at birth, says Jane. Hilarious comment. Jane, I love it. Amy says, I'm glad you didn't let that experience ruin your compassion, Priya. Money never solves problems. I agree, Jane. It never does.
No, as soon as you figure that out, that it can't be about the money, everything falls into place.
It's never about the money.
It can't be. Well, nothing can be. Money comes and goes. Everything is a house of cards. Your entire life is a house of cards.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be waiting to keep stacking those cards and let me see how tall it can get and, walk all over everybody else in the purpose, you're going to be very lonely at the top of a deck of cards that have all smashed to the ground.
And that's why billionaires are the worst people ever.
And as soon as you figure that out, it's got to be about more. It's got to be about people, about community, about caring, about uplifting, about voices, about strength, about empowerment. That's what your life has got to be aiming for. Not mass accumulation at the cost of others. And I think that's why it triggered me as well, because to me, I'm holding on to my money because whatever it is that's me is more valuable than what I could do with that $20.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Instead of using that $20 to make Shefali happy, treat somebody who's important to her to something special, I have decided that that $20 is worth me starting this conversation, which will not possibly have a positive outcome. Cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that is immaturity that, you know, he wasn't able to see that to the next step and go, oh, right, I've said that. What are the possible answers to this question? How can this go right? They can't. They can't.
I think that's fundamentally, in my personal opinion, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
We're learning and growing every day. Like I keep trying to say, but I can't remember the expression. If the goal is experience, every single thing that happens is a win. Right?
That's the new catch.
That is my new phrase. I keep using that. If the goal is experience, everything is a win.
Literally.
Yeah.
And Jane said that's bizarre. Allison said, I'm so sorry you have had this exuberance. Amy says, people, man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Jane says there is a black waterfall with red and yellow flowers. Can you try that one on, please? It's a Wabi Sabi piece.
Yeah. Is it on this? Is it already part of the collection, or is it a black waterfall with yellow flowers, or is it not part of this collection?
There's the one that's the same fabric as, was it your cardigan, I think, Jane?
Is it in here, or do I have to go there?
It's in there. I've already pulled it.
Black waterfall.
But it's black and blue, so I don't think so.
Black, not this one.
No, I don't think it's that one. It's got yellow flowers, but no red ones. Do you have a code for chance, James?
There's this one.
This one has, it's a poncho.
Mm.
Okay, I'm just waiting on James.
Ooh, this is too cute.
Wow,
that's so sweet. Got to see the colors up close, even though as soon as I get close, you can't see the colors.
One of my favorite places we went shopping, which is always a treat, is the Fluvog store.
Oh my God. We stopped for a moment out in front of the Fluvog store and just took a minute to appreciate that we were in its presence.
Actually did
I did a and then we got in and realized that the windows are completely see-through and that they had watched us.
All glass.
And I said, that was really weird. I'm so sorry. He goes, oh yeah, we see people do that all the time.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And then I got a really fabulous pair of red shoes.
You did.
So I got a really fabulous pair of red shoes.
It's not here.
Priya really tried to tempt me to get a piece that she loved, and I thought she was going to buy it, and she got the seal of approval from Goat.
I did. I even said, I shouldn't buy these, right? He said, no, you should. And I'm like, maybe, but then they didn't fit perfectly.
Yeah.
So that's what saved the day. I can't find it. So either you have to look for it or I have to leave the front of the camera.
If there's anything else Jane can say about it, but I'm not seeing any message come through. Oh, wait, I got it. Oh my God, it wasn't loading. Priya, in the end, it is so much easier to come out from a place of kindness, even if the outcome isn't necessarily great.
Yeah, that's what I decided, is that's where I felt best in myself, is coming from a place where I would be happy with my choices, because that's all I have control over.
Yeah. I'm looking for the piece right now. PRG 72 PRG. Oh, this one. I did not pull this one. I will pull it now.
Yay. Is there anything else here I really wanted to show you guys?
There's this sculptural tunic dress. If you wanted to try it on, you should.
Which color? The one that I said I liked?
Well, I'm assuming if you want to try on things you like, then you should.
This one's really nice.
Nobody's one beside it.
Oh, this one is stunning.
And I don't think it's got its moment, you know?
No. This is a self pocket.
Yeah, a self pocket. Those are both self pockets. That one and the Mukesh work.
This one's really pretty. Is it Mukesh?
Isn't it Mukesh?
No, it is not.
What kind of work is it?
It's appliques, but they don't go through to the other.
But it's fun appliques.
Oh, I love that. How is that not
so you, friends?
Oh, Jane, this is a beautiful top. I don't know how it hasn't sold. I'm in love with this one.
I'm in love.
And it would match so many things. It's got the browns, it's got the oranges, it's got the reds, grays, blacks. It is too pretty. So it is an Indian cultural thing. I think I've talked about, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but in India, I met some of my cousins that I have over there, and they had little kids, and they were getting those kids onto a school bus, and they were encouraging their daughter to push other people out of the way so that the daughter, who was like 6, could get on the bus. And I was like, whoa, like she's pushing other kids. This does not feel right. And they were very educated. Like one was a doctor. I think she was an accountant or something. They lived on Juhu Beach. Like,
Oh,
very,
wow.
very privileged people in a community of very privileged people. And I said, like, is that okay? That, you know, you're telling her to push other kids out of the way so she can get on the school bus?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm guessing there's enough seats on the bus. And what she told me was, my child is growing up in India, and there are a billion people here. If she doesn't learn how to push other people out of the way, she won't survive.
That's true.
And it probably is true. And it's also not a way that I could live.
But also, it's less true for her because of the kind of privilege they have.
Yeah.
And it's more true for people who actually cannot afford to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm thinking, if there's only 5 spaces on the bus, yeah, you know, sure, your kid's got to get to school.
5 spaces in a bus in an area where there's only one bus that comes every 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you're struggling to get there, and there's no other option but to walk for 2 hours.
Yeah. Like then you got to get on that
this
bus.
This is the your dad always tells you about the 70 kilometers he walked just to get to school in his village,
and then ended up being on the roof of a truck. Yeah. With his tiffin in his hands.
And that's why he works so hard in school, and you should too.
Yes.
But I think in this particular case, like this person that you know will never really have to deal with that kind of
thing. No, she didn't. Right now, she's an influencer, this young girl. Very, very intelligent. In fact, I think she became a psychologist as well. That's another thing. It's got to be time to go. So this is another thing I've been seeing a lot of on Facebook, and it might just not even Facebook, but Instagram. This whole idea that there are baddies in India. Have you seen this happen? Like it's like taken the world by storm.
Well, they don't think that India is a civilized country because they're racist, right? They're looking at, you know, people who bring their tradition here, and they're like, well, there's no Western culture in these countries, but there's tons. That's like the mainstream.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, there was a very famous musical artist, Tyla, who did a concert in India, and a really young up and coming designer designed a sari for her that was basically a strip of fabric, and something draped. Like it was nothing. And she looked beautiful in it. And for this concert, the young Indian women dressed to the nines. And they, of course, were beautiful. And so
they were having their Coachella fantasy, right?
They were. They looked stunning with their long black hair and beautiful eyes and makeup and really funky styled clothes. Like they did not look
like they just came out of the village.
Yeah, they did not look like villagers. Anyway, so apparently this footage, because Tyla is so famous, this footage of stuff that happened at the club and the people who were at the club went global. And people are like, oh my God, Indian girls are hotties. Like it was some crazy, unbelievable baddies. They call them baddies.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, there's like all of these people. And then, so I watched this one influencer and she's like the most Miss Universes have come out of India than anywhere else. And yet people don't think that Indian girls can be baddies. Like, I don't know. I thought it was very interesting.
I just think that it's a disconnect because, like, one, you're seeing a huge migration, especially in a country like Canada, for example. You're seeing a massive migration of Indians and South Asians coming to Canada to find better opportunities because there are billions of people in their countries back home, and it's hard to do that. And it's hard to live. And at the same time, you know, with any kind of huge migration of individuals or communities, especially when they're not white or they don't appear to be of a lighter skin, there is a lot of racial judgment and prejudice.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there isn't if you aren't an immigrant who isn't from a European country, but there is more so of that as a person coming from what is supposedly viewed culturally as a third world country.
Well, I think that's, I don't know what the fine difference would be between preconceptions and prejudice.
Yeah.
Right. I think that there are some preconceptions about the type of people who live in India.
But that is based on prejudice, your own individual prejudice that you gain as a society. And you live in a Western society. Yeah. And also people have a lot of preconceived notions that India is so dirt poor. And that was never the case historically. That was only due to colonization. Isn't that true?
Yes. In fact, a lot of wealth came out of...
Did you know that Sri Lanka was considered the gem of South Asia because of the kind of history and kingdoms and culture? And, you know, we basically went through an economic food crisis.
Yeah. But the queen has her crown.
She has her Ceylon sapphires. So
she does. And she has her Kohinoor diamond.
Yep.
That will never make it back to India.
So,
okay, I'm trying something new here. So I just tied two ends of this together of the top of my high-low top.
Oh, Mira just joined.
Hey, Mira. And so instead of tucking it in here in the belt loop, I'm going to try tucking it into this little knot that I made.
Mira, we were just talking about the Indian baddies.
I was talking about the Indian baddies
from the Tyler concert.
I think it works. So you can do that if you don't have a belt loop.
It's cute.
Right? Tie a knot and then take the end and put it through the knot.
I also really wanted to show this particular fabric. So this was, if you guys remember Sandy, who used to work for us, this was one of her favorite fabrics.
Yeah.
And we still have one single piece in this sari here. And what she loved about it is, you know, because I believe she's part Scottish.
Oh, the tartan kind of.
Tartan. And what I wanted to showcase is the tartan/madras pattern of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me turn it around this way. I feel like it's got to be 10.
Oh, it's past 10. It's 10:25.
Oh, we need to be done.
Yeah.
We have kept you ladies long enough.
Mira said, yes, of course. Jane said, yes, but colonization has really screwed up Southeast Asian lands and people. Oh, big time, friend.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're saying. Like, I just don't think that people really know that. Like,
well, the world is getting smaller every day. At least now.
Less educated.
That's true. That's a whole other story. But like
especially in history.
Back in my day, I would not have even known that there was a Tyler concert and there would have been no social media. I would have only gotten information that was filtered through sources that had their own biases and narratives. So now the fact that in your generation, there is unfiltered access to things in other countries, you have the opportunity to learn and grow and, you know, recognize if you have preconceptions. So I think things will change faster.
Yeah, I also think that things will change faster, but there's always going to be a group in every generation that, you know, carries the traditions of what they were exposed to because they don't experience things firsthand. Like I was at the Donut Monster today in Hamilton, and these three very young, like teenager boys who were all Caucasian were having a very loud conversation. And one boy said, well, you know, I like to hear the opinions of all sides, whether they're bigots or whether they're nationalists or whether they're this and that. And, you know, I met this guy and he had a truck and he was super nice, but he was like a major right winger and like, he was a nice guy. And like, I think you just need to hear all sides. And I wanted so bad to turn around and said, friend, you just wait until somebody hate crimes you. And then you see how
much room you have for all sides. I like this necklace with it too. Ladies, I think we're done. I did not realize that we've said the word hate crime. That's our little cue that we should be done by now. At the beginning of this, I'm like, it's going to be so silly. Yeah, but now we have worked our way to hate crime. So it's definitely
so basically every conversation Priya and I have gets to this point.
You know, the day is done. Hate crime, time to go.
Oh, all right.
Okay, guys, I adore you. Thank you so much for spending time with us, for taking the time to listen to our little silly stories and, you know, meaningless disputes. We're all just learning and growing. As Shafali said recently, and I have repeated a bazillion times, we are all just learning to be human for the first time.
Yeah, I know. I need to trademark that sentence.
You do. It's so true. It's so true. Okay, everybody. Love you all. Have a great night. Take care. Bye.
Bye.